Yeah, I can't even refresh it at all. Like the old shows are not even coming up. Oops.
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear me. If you didn't hear me the first time, my phone's going to play it for you again.
Hey guys, welcome into the show before the show. If you have your friends and you know people, let them know Rumble's not working this morning, and that has nothing to do with us. And we have a ton of people who listen on Rumble.
Yeah, we really do. But it's not uploading, and I'm checking other places that have Rumble, and it looks like Rumble itself must be down.
So good morning to you, Ben. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Trisha.
Rumble's kind of going in and out, though. Like I just pulled it up, and now it'll let us run a past show, but it won't let us.
Really? Oh, it's probably. Did you hear that, Joe? It's like Rumble's kind of getting started now. Hey, maybe before the show ends, we'll have a chance because we don't save the show before the show.
Rumble's been going in and out. It was coming up, and then when you would go to try to advance to the next window or whatever for the setup, it would go back down. So
yeah. So I agree with Vic. If you know any of your friends that normally listen on Rumble, and we have, lately it's been our biggest platform. They're not communicating as much on there as they do on Facebook, but there's a lot of people that listen live on Rumble, and it's down. And it must be a rumble.com issue because it's unable to handle our request this morning.
So that means we can't get ready to Rumble this morning.
We can't get ready to Rumble.
We can't.
We can't get ready to Rumble. And Mike is saying he's on YouTube, and he's saying Rumble was down yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
So,
Not surprised.
So I'm guessing, I don't know what the deal is with Rumble, but they're down.
It's interesting because Kelly Mano, she had never even heard of Rumble.
Yeah.
And the reason she'd never heard of Rumble is because they don't pay.
Right. Yeah. Rumble doesn't pay.
You have to have like a massive contract. I mean, they offered like Joe Rogan $100 million years ago to do a show there, but
right. But I don't think that people are
the
getting
platform.
Off of that
YouTube is where you make money.
Correct. YouTube has the best payout for shows. Rumble doesn't hardly pay anything. So, and also Rumble is also known as a conservative platform.
Or a platform that doesn't
censor. Correct.
Which is good. I wonder if it had anything to do with the quote cyber attack.
Oh,
not a lot. And it was a subject I was going to bring up today.
Yeah.
But media didn't even talk about it yesterday, about China's cyber attack. It was massive.
And I wonder, because Mike is still saying that he had heard Rumble was hacked. So that would make sense. So if it's been down since yesterday, yeah. I didn't notice it was down since yesterday, but I'm guessing it was.
So like, subscribe, share the show, go to the different platforms, let us know. I did see us running on Twitter yesterday as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We run on Twitter. Like our clips run on Twitter and TikTok. But
we stream on Twitter also.
We do?
Yeah, we're on there now.
Streaming now.
But it just started, right?
No, we've been doing it for a while.
Okay. I will have to go to that platform.
I don't know that there's a chat on there or anything.
There's no chat.
Yeah.
You can make comments.
Yeah.
That's another good point. Benny says, I worry about a cyber attack at election time.
Yeah.
Very good point. But when we had the guy from St. Charles on, the Republican vote counter, it's my archaic way. He said that a cyber attack wouldn't affect what they do.
I don't know that I believe that, though, because I sat in several meetings, and they say that a cyber attack wouldn't affect that because they can manually go in and switch it anyway. But that didn't make me feel much better. Yeah. And Tanya saying, good morning, truthsocial.com is the best website.
But we can't go live on Truth Social, I didn't think.
No, it's more.
That's the problem.
Right. I think it's a great platform too.
Yeah,
I like it. But it's at this point we can't run our show on it. But I agree, for finding out information and definitely hearing what President Trump is saying, that is really great. Derek is saying, good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning. Good morning. Wish we had paper ballots only, but that'll never happen again.
Nope. Because even in St. Charles County, we have paper ballots, but it's still counted electronically. And, as my conspiracy theory mind goes, you wonder if Rumble is having internal problems, or were they hacked by somebody who doesn't want truth? Because they don't censor on Rumble.
Yeah, could be.
Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering then if we can put this show up later on Rumble. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I know. Interesting. We get all that going. Oh, it's already okay. Because we started. Yeah, we can go ahead and start the show, buddy.
Actually, if you give me a second, I'm setting Rumble up. It's up enough to where I'm actually going through it. It's going to take me 2 more seconds.
Yeah, cool. There we go.
Good.
All good. Good.
So we're still doing the show before the show because Rumble was down, and Mike told us that he heard it was hacked, and it's been down since yesterday afternoon. We knew it was having problems as soon as we got here because it kept going in and out and in and out.
Yeah. It always goes.
There it goes.
Yeah, we having fun with it. Went and saw the well, maybe I'll wait for the show.
Okay.
Went and saw a movie last night.
Okay.
I was thinking to a movie.
All right, it says we're up on Rumble now. So
fantastic. Let me see if I can reload it.
I'll do it too.
And then I'm going live. Okay, it's up. Thanks, Joe.
Hey, no problem.
Yep.
And away we go.
And away we go. Very good. So it is up.
Yeah, I see it up. The new graphics not on there for me yet, but
that's
pop
okay.
up.
It'll pop up later, and if not, that's
all
okay.
good.
Okay, so we are up on Rumble.
Hey guys, welcome to cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house as well. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate you guys joining what we call our live cast. What's interesting about what we do with our news headlines, politics, interviews from all over the country, cancel culture education, business, comedy, sports, you name it, is you guys join us live. the information, the entertainment. We try to help you with that. You help us. You guys are super educated. We love it. And that's why we ask you to like, subscribe, share the show on all of our platforms. CancelThisShow.com, CancelThisShow.com. Of course, you can check all of our original content on our website as well, CancelThisShow.com. Approaching 300 episodes already. We are grateful for that. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website as well. We also love it when you guys give us ideas for interviews, topics, you name it. We had a terrific guy yesterday, Max Fisher, explaining what he saw, what's actually happening in Gaza. Had a couple emails about him yesterday that they were super happy that we had him on, and we should try to have him on again as our Middle Eastern expert because he is so educated and good at what he does. Grateful for that. Coming up Thursday, we're going to break down the whole water situation, why the water you drink is, even the water bottles, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
That it'll blow your freaking mind. You will not want to miss Nelson talking about what's happening on Thursday with our water, what you need to have. That'll be during our 8 o'clock hour. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey, who I'm convinced does not sleep and
Yeah, he
is
doesn't sleep.
supercharged on coffee, caffeine, something, Monster, you name it, 24/7 will join us at 9 o'clock on Thursday as well. Tomorrow we also have the Strixen from our realty standpoint. We've got Route 66 Cannabis in.
I think Dr. Anders coming.
Dr.
on
Bob
tomorrow.
Onder will be in as well. We're packed this week, which is fantastic.
Well, and
that's what
tonight,
we like.
mention what we're doing tonight.
And tonight, we're going to be on the Anthony Rogers podcast. He does a weekly show. He was on with us once before. We'll be doing that tonight at 8:30. I'm not sure exactly how long we'll be on there.
Right.
But
right.
you can.
It's a 2-hour show. We'll be on right away, I know, at 8:30.
So to find us, you just look up his show. He is on
Several platforms.
multiple platforms.
Yes, yes.
The Anthony Rogers Show is what it is called. The Anthony Rogers Show. We'll be there tonight. Just trying to build the audience here. We had Anthony on. It went well. He was well liked when he came on with us.
He's got a big audience at night.
Yeah, he does.
Mm-hmm.
He does. He's been doing it, he said, for like 5-6 years.
Yeah, he's been doing it a while.
So that was good. Because when Joe was starting, would you say you guys were actually starting the whole podcast thing back in the day with the, was that with the Bob and Tom show? Was that
it's
kind
Tom
of a
and Jeff and yeah, we, so once they left 105.7 The Point, that's when they started a podcast. And back then podcasts were like just starting. It wasn't even like that big of a deal.
A lot of businesses still don't know anything about podcasting right now.
Right. Yeah.
Huh? What? What's this you're doing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway, that's going on. Trisha, well water too. You won't want to miss this.
Yeah.
The well water's an issue. It's a problem as well. And you're going to find out the science behind it, what's actually happening and how you can correct it.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
That's coming up on Thursday at 8 o'clock. You will not want to miss Nelson. There's a reason the company made or sold $80,000 over the Thanksgiving holiday because of their water purification system and what's happening with our water. Because when people see the facts, you're like, we're doing what to our bodies? This is why a lot of these cancers are caused. This is why a lot of these things happen. Yeah, so well water is an issue. It's a problem there as well. Anyway, big week. We also want to thank our sponsors and advertisers, as we always do. We're always looking for more because when we say we have advertisers and sponsors, it doesn't mean like, oh, they're paying for everything. It's just, they're in a little bit. Ameni's. When it comes to infrared saunas, traditional saunas, and now their new saltwater hot tubs, you're not going to find a better situation when it comes to those items, specifically when it comes to heart health, blood circulation, your life expectancy, and lack of heart disease. When it comes, this isn't just a luxury item anymore. These are items that are helping the body, and then there's science behind it as well. Experience Realty Partners, of course, the audience favorite, Kathy Elbig Strick, Steve Strick. They come in on Wednesdays. Unrestricted, their new show and information is rocking and rolling. They'll be in to talk about their real estate, 314-276-SOLD, expect to be moved, and New Age Health Wellness as well. Hamid Hamra will be in with Route 66, Fast Lane to Midwest Premier Cannabis Shopping Experience. They'll be in tomorrow, 5 stores throughout the St. Louis area, but they also have the Ostara brand line, which you can find through hundreds of stores throughout the St. Louis area. And Solar City STL, Justin and Bobby have a terrific company. They're doing well. Be sure, if you're going to go with solar and getting information from the right people, there's all kinds of scams out there as well. because it is a big business right now because it's helping people get off the grid. You can go to our website, canceltheshow.com, click on partners, and we have links set up for you. No pressure. They'll educate you. They'll give you information. Strategic Air Services, the premier private transportation providers in all things aviation, from aircraft management to concierge services and acquisition. We broadcast live out of Strategic Air Services in the Chesterfield Valley. They're also looking for pilots and people who want to get into the aviation industry. Kevin is, you're not going to find anybody that knows more about the aviation industry than Kevin, and the team here does a phenomenal job. WeQuip, a peer-to-peer rental marketplace where renters go to search for items that they need that their neighbors might not have. Paige Measley and crew go there. I got to get my light put on there. I've got a stage light, a massive stage light.
Ooh,
Paid
that would be good.
$700 for it,
Yeah.
and we never used it. And then like 3 or 4 people said, "Oh, we'll buy it," and they never bought it.
Mhm.
Literally been sitting in a box for a year,
Yeah.
and
You
it's
need
a
to put it
nice.
on
You've
there.
seen that, right, Joe? You've seen that
Oh,
stage
yeah,
light?
it's a nice one.
I got to
Sure.
put that on there. What should I rent that for?
God,
time.
I don't know, $50 a week. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't know what to do.
I don't know, $100 a week.
And of course, Wendy's in the Chesterfield Valley. Ben and crew, some of the best pizza, burgers, wings, smoked meats you're going to find. Outdoor patio, live entertainment, Fridays and Saturdays, and of course Sundays in the spring and summer when the weather is good. Okay, lots going on. Hey, Tucker Carlson has finally launched his new network, TCN.
Love it.
Tucker Carlson Network. I guess it was just a matter of time before it actually happened
Yeah.
because they're rocking and rolling right now. They've got,
They had to wait through lawsuits and some paperwork too.
Well, they've got it rocking. They got it rolling. Good for Tucker Carlson and crew. They're sending out media, all that. I sent out information to them yesterday, just making sure they know that we're still here.
Yeah,
We're
good.
big supporters.
Good. Very good. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, you guys. Hey, just let us know when you need us to help you out with anything.
Very good. Love
Yep.
that. Love
If
that.
you need to come and use our set, we'll let you use that as well. And if you need us on, we'd be more than happy
Of course.
to
course.
jump in with you from that standpoint. And then not only do you have that, you have our merchandise page as well.
Yes.
So it's canceltheshow.com. Once again, canceltheshow.com. You click on the merch page on the website. We have some of the best coolies, the best cups,
Mm-hmm.
Stanleys, hats, t-shirts of all kinds of varieties, the Cancel This Coffee, all kinds of things that you can go when you go to our website,
Great
canceltheshow.com.
Christmas presents, and you can still get it before Christmas. And right now, if you go on there, it's 15% less for celebrating our 1 year celebration or anniversary. I know it's not really an anniversary, but a 1 year, whatever we are, 1 year
Yeah, celebration.
celebration. Yeah,
It's a
because
celebration
you said I can't
anniversary.
say anniversary because that's not really.
You know what I
such a
started
thing.
saying? I started saying celebration anniversary. And if you didn't, there's no such thing as a 1 year anniversary. It has to be multiple.
I see. I never knew that.
I know. And I didn't know that either until our AP writers came in and told us, really smart local news people, well, this is how we're going to do it. There's no such thing as a 1 year anniversary. It's and then you can't completely destroy anything. Something's destroyed or not. So you don't say completely. To say something is completely anything is completely wrong. That's what we were told. Never say completely destroyed. There's a lot of those grammatical things. I make mistakes too. I mean, when you look at it, you're like, damn, I shouldn't say that.
Right.
But we get used to saying it in life
Mhm.
because that's what we say as humans. That's what we say as Americans, and it's not right.
Yeah.
But we know our education system's gone to shit anyway.
Yeah. So nobody younger than us would even understand we're making grammatical errors. They don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe not. I don't think they will.
No, they won't notice.
And then if you try to correct somebody, you're looked at like, okay, who's this
Mhm.
tool?
Yeah.
What?
Definitely, you
Really?
correct somebody. They're like, "You're a tool, Vic."
Yeah, no, it happens. We appreciate it. So anyway, we got that kicking, rocking. I loved it that Tucker has done what he's done. Of course, he's been super, super, super popular. So he had, and by the way, we love it when you guys check in. Let us know. Most of the audience, 95, 96, 98% of the audience catches us after we're live. But we love you guys that join in live because you participate in the show. You help the
Yes.
show. You help create the content. I've been wanting to do this too. Let us know where you're checking in from.
Yeah, I love that.
Just tell us, hey, Derek from Eureka, God's
Mhm.
country, Trisha from wherever.
She's
Especially
from God's country, just the other way.
just because I know we have people from different states, we have people from different countries, and of course, different parts of the St. Louis metropolitan area. I credit Tucker Carlson, obviously, as we've talked about so many different times. Recently, he walked out at a UFC fight with Donald Trump, with Dana White, the owner, CEO, and Kid Rock. And those four guys have accomplished a ton. I mean, those guys could accomplish a ton. Well, he had Tucker Carlson on. He aired it yesterday, or Tucker Carlson had Kid Rock on yesterday. And if you have 25 minutes, go check it out. It is a great interview with Kid Rock. Goes fast. And one of the highlights of it is Tucker asking him about Donald Trump, and then Kid Rock basically saying he's a tough son of a bitch. Kid Rock talking about Donald Trump. Here's Kid Rock with Tucker Carlson.
Trump. You've seen Trump a lot recently. How's he doing?
Toughest son of a bitch on the earth. Like, he's doing great. It's incredible.
He's
You know,
been
we just got to
indicted
spend some
4
time
times.
with him,
Yeah,
which you seem to be having more fun than anybody in that.
I was
equation.
having.
You watch that video back, we're walking to the ring, and everyone's looking all tough, and you're like, you're like, this is the greatest day of my life.
I loved it.
That was so much fun.
It was amazing.
I love spending time with him, getting to know him. You know, since he became president, the first few months, having dinner at the White House with him, and from there on, we've just really hit it off. And you know, I can relate to him in a lot of ways as somebody who might speak out of turn a little bit, say what's on his mind. But you know, I think if you look at his track record and who he is as a whole, there's a lot more good there than anything. I think people, you know, I could go both ways. I always say with me, you can go on the internet and you can make me out to be some crazy wild party animal who just has his middle fingers in the air and doesn't care, or you can be someone who's a single father who loves his family, loves his country, does a lot of philanthropy. It's all there for the taking. And you know, I try to see the good in people. I haven't always executed that correctly or, you know, on spot. But, you know, whatever it is, when I give it, it's 100% real.
Well, so without like betraying the details of your conversations, you've been with Trump a bunch of times since he got indicted, and the world has kind of crashed in around him. How does he seem?
Can't tell.
Really?
No. I mean, when we're golfing and we're hanging out in different scenarios here and there, it's his spirits are always up, and he's always talking about this country. He's always talking about this country and how he wants to win for it. He likes to win at anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything. When we're golfing, like, you know, I won $100 from him at the UFC. I don't think he was too happy about it. But
What'd you bet on?
we were betting up fights. You know, we're just picking guys, you know, to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
And man, somebody that's in that office, in any office, that wants to win for this country, I'm in. I've never seen anybody who wants to win for this country like that guy. And I don't think we'll ever see anything like it in our lifetime. To me, he's the greatest president we've had.
And he's unaffected, in your experience, by everything that's happening.
Oh, is he pissed off? Sure.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem broken at
I don't
all.
want to speak out of school, you know, but, you know, yeah, who's not going to hem and haw a little bit about the people that are doing this to him? You know, these people in New York. It's a freaking joke.
Yeah.
I mean, one Google search on Zillow, property in Palm Beach. There's like a couple acres that comes up on the water. It's $200 million.
Yeah.
And they're like, Mar-a-Lago's only worth $17 million. It's like, well, you are a stupid son of a bitch if you say that.
Yeah.
You know, he takes loans from the bank, whatever. He pays them all back. Everybody makes money. There's no crime here.
Yeah.
I just, you know, they're just, it's completely, anybody who can't see they're fucking with him, it's just blinded.
Yeah.
I know the guy speaks out of turn a little bit, says some things. I can relate.
Yes.
I do it myself, you know, quite often because I just say what's on my mind, and I can get that. But I don't know how you look at his track record and what he did and how he had this country fired on all cylinders when he was in office. Everybody working, you know, our military is the strongest. He's leading with, you know, strength and borders, you know, under control, just energy independent. You know, you could go on and on. I don't get it. You know, I understand because it seems like it's a lot of women, like in my life and stuff. They're like, well, I don't like the way he talks. It's like, come on, man. You're not putting him in the office to hear him talk nice. How many years have we had of that?
Love that.
Yeah, I loved
Is
every
that-
bit about that. And
Should we get a new hat too, by the way?
We should.
Did you
get
see
a
his
new
hat?
I did. I love
America,
his hat.
fuck yeah.
Yes, I need that hat.
We need more people to care about this country, not only like Donald Trump does, but like Kid Rock does.
Absolutely. And I liked everything he said, except for that he thinks he sees more women that don't like how he talks.
Speak it, Lizzie.
I think I see both. Most, you know, I am a patriot and I've surrounded myself now by around mainly patriots, and they all could care less how he's speaking. I see just as many men that go, I really like him. Even conservative men, I really like him, but I wish he would just tone it down and be more presidential. Most women I know go, oh, I fucking love the way he talks. I mean, that's how I think that I see it. That's the only thing I disagreed with.
He's
him
got
on there.
balls, that's for
He
sure.
does have balls.
Balls.
And true strong
Kid Rock
women
does too.
like men with balls. We've said that several
Balls.
times on the show.
It was interesting too.
We don't like wimpy bald men. We don't.
Hey, go check if you have a chance. You can check it out at some point in time. He also breaks down his opinions. Kid Rock does with Tucker Carlson regarding the Bud Light controversy and everything. He likes the fact that Bud Light is paying 9 figures to UFC and his good friend Dana White, but he also says what many other people have said on this chat line. It's like I'd still like to see them say, "Listen, we screwed up."
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we screwed up. We got that. Hey, listen, we got that one wrong, but we're
Mhm.
not going to get it wrong again. He's like, they just won't go over the edge and do it. But he says that he sees great hope with Bud Light coming up.
Yes, I think so too. And he also went on to say or I guess it was Tucker that said, I believe that was their apology.
Yeah, it was. And he likes the ad, the new Peyton Manning ad that we showed last week. And it aired, by the way, it was airing on Fox Sunday. I saw that on the football game day on Fox. They were showing that somewhere else. But anyway, he speaks about that whole situation. By the way, Kid Rock he's engaged now too. So good for him. And
Good for him.
I really like the guy, by the way, on an off note, because Joe is such a music guy and he tapes Audio Inc. on Fridays. It runs on Tuesdays. Is Audio Inc. running tonight, your show?
It runs on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Yeah.
So tomorrow night, 6 p.m.?
Yep.
I was at his kickoff show, his 40th birthday party in Detroit, Comerica Park, many, many, many years ago. And he blew me away on stage because Kid Rock he did everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I knew his DJ.
Really?
Yeah, his DJ's nephew, I coached in football because I coached
Nice.
football for 10 years. So I got to know his DJ a little bit. But he's like, man, I'm telling you, he is a tough dude because he knows what you're doing and what your job is. At his concert, he played the drums as well as anybody.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, he DJ'd. He played guitar. And of course, he sang and he danced. And then, of course, he's a showman. So, and then I was told that he was supposed to be the white rapper, and then Vanilla Ice kind of ruined it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So he had to transform himself. Bob Ritchie had to transform himself. Just
Makes
love the
sense.
dude. Amazing musician. He's never been worried about being canceled. And once again, we talk about that on the show. We don't believe in it. The whole woke agenda needs to go bye-bye, throw it in the trash, get rid of it. And he has really pushed that agenda as well. So Michelle says, saw him many years ago and he was awesome. Tara says, Kid Rock's an amazing musician and performer. And now it's time for him to be able to come out and speak out. And I'm glad that he is and doing that. And it's just a really good interview that Tucker does. And of course, Tucker's become the icon with Joe Rogan when it comes to podcasting, a lot of stuff that we do. And of course, we have hopes and dreams of doing some of those things. And that's why we bring the interviews that we bring Monday through Friday on this show as well. So good to see Tucker doing well with TCN, his new network. And they're going to have several shows as well. I don't know. Maybe there's
I can't wait to see.
Yeah,
It's going to be a great surprise.
Yeah,
for all
cancel
of
this
us.
would be a nice little sideshow for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I'm
we can-
sure it'll get prime time.
Paul says he surrounds himself with good musicians. I agree. That's what anybody does
Yeah.
in life. You surround yourself with really good people. If you do, you're going to have success. You don't just want to surround yourself with a bunch of yes, man, all that. It's not going to work.
No.
Iron sharpens iron. Cotton balls don't sharpen cotton balls. That's for sure. You don't want to just have the echo chamber all the way around. And it's interesting. I'm glad Shay brought this up from the chat line as well. When it comes to Tucker Carlson, I don't think we talked about this, but I sent it because Derek was on with you last week
Hmm.
on Wednesday or I can't remember, or Thursday, but that's when I saw it come out.
Yeah.
Melania Trump
Yes.
went public
She did.
and said, I hope my husband chooses Tucker Carlson as VP.
Yeah, she did.
I'm
really
like,
say
what
that.
the hell?
I know. That's great. I don't think it's going to happen because he's got a big enough
He's launching a
voice with his
network.
network.
Yes.
So I don't think now's the time. And you need a good voice on the outside. But I'm with Melania. Wouldn't that be the most awesome ever? That would be so
If you're a
great.
conservative and you get Donald Trump announcing Tucker Carlson,
Oh,
yeah, that would be freaking crazy amazing.
yeah. That would be so cool.
If you're a conservative, you would love that.
Yes. Even if you are an establishment Republican, you wouldn't like that.
But I still think he's going to go Kristi Noem. I do.
Think so. I hope he does. I hope that's who he chooses.
Because number one, I'm not going to say woman first. Number one, she's qualified
Yes.
and has had a super successful run as governor in South Dakota.
And she backed him very publicly.
Yeah,
so I think that's a really good thing.
I heard the goofballs on Fox News Morning yesterday. With all due respect, I'm sorry. How this conversation was even allowed by a producer. Yeah. Do you think he would consider Nikki Haley as a vice president?
I heard them saying
Maybe.
that too.
Yeah. And they're back and forth, like chanting it up. And I'm like, somebody stop the freaking segment. How stupid. Like, well, Brian Kilmeade didn't say anything, but the other three were talking back and forth. And I'm like, oh my God, where are your brains?
They don't. That's the thing. But Fox is so behind Nikki Haley. They just love her. And
like, do you think she would consider Nikki Haley? Or there? And I'm like, no. Not happening. No.
I think Trump loses credibility if he picks her, because that's just another Mike Pence. That's just another, warmonger, as I say all the time. Yeah, totally sold out to the establishment.
And even if they got, she's already ripped him.
I don't even care about the ripping so much.
No, he cares.
Well, yeah, he does care. He cares.
Trump keeps notes.
Yes.
He keeps score, as I talk about.
Yes.
We love it when you guys jump in on the show, too. Robert brings up a great point, too, when it comes to Tucker. And we know how Trump does. He loves to play the media, just like he played the state of Missouri when saying that I support Eric, and there were at least 3 Erics running for the U.S. Senate spot.
Right.
Robert says he has no executive experience. Not a fan of that thinking. I agree.
Yeah, I'm not saying, I don't know that that's a right thing, except for I really hope that Donald Trump this time keeps his circle really small. Pick people he absolutely knows is loyal. He went in the last time, and because people really liked him before he ran as a Republican, so he could go in and smooze and turn anyone who didn't like him around to like him. He underestimated, as so many of us did, that the swamp isn't even who we thought it was. So he needs to come in now. He already knows the game plan. He already knows who's the swamp. And every day the swamp is getting more and more revealed all the time. So he needs to pick people who absolutely are not the swamp and who has backed him from the beginning. Loyalty is key here. I mean, it is, because he picked other people that weren't loyal, and it backfired on him. Totally backfired.
It did.
Yeah. And look at, like, even Kellyanne Conway, who I thought she did great things for him. Her husband was such a jackass to him that was never going to work.
You know what's interesting that we got on this subject, and sometimes we have an outline and we stay to it, but sometimes things happen. Something else that happened last week that blew my freaking mind. Kellyanne McEnany, who I love, and I still think she was one of the best press secretaries ever.
It was good.
She was ripping Trump last week after the debate for second place, which means absolutely nothing, for not debating. Like, I was like,
yeah,
she knows better than, now I know
Yeah.
she gets a check from Fox News, and we know that
Correct.
Fox News wants anybody other than Donald Trump,
Yes.
but they know that Donald Trump is going to win, so they have to do what they do. But even Kellyanne was ripping Trump because he didn't. Kellyanne, you're a smart lady. You know better. You know that he had nothing to gain there, and that it would be a total shit show. Kellyanne, come on. You're
She
smarter
loves
than that.
him.
You don't need all that extra money from
Nope.
Fox. Come on, do your own thing. You're smart. You're intelligent.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But you're right. She's changed on how she talks about President Trump since she's been on Fox. And I don't always watch Fox a whole lot, but I was telling you before the show, I had it on yesterday, almost all day when I got home from the studio. And I'm like, oh, I haven't been missing anything. It's just the same thing over and over. And the midday Fox, they're all Trump haters.
Well, I won't call them haters.
Oh, some of them hate him.
The one thing that
Neil Cavuto. Oh,
the one thing
come on.
I am grateful that they're doing is they are focusing on the border.
I
They're
do
showing
like
a lot
that.
of video because of what's happening there. And that is something that's near and dear to our heart here, especially
For sure.
at Cancel
For
This
sure.
with all of the craziness that's going on, because if you don't see it, you don't know about it.
Correct.
And that's a big problem. We're going to be showing some of that coming up at 9:00 as well. The polls continue to come out, right, left, Trump leading everything, dominating. Another poll came out yesterday, had him 8 points up in Georgia. Trump over Biden.
Right.
Blew my mind. And I think I saw it from CNN.
Mm-hmm.
7 points. And in Michigan, Trump with a 50-40 lead. I was like, holy crap, how things have changed when it comes to, once again, not conservative polling, middle or left-leaning polling.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff is happening. Derek says Fox is like watching a soap opera. You can walk away for a while, and when you come back, you'll hear the same storyline.
That is 100% true. That's
With-
exactly
with
what
the
I was
stinger
thinking
music.
about yesterday.
Ding!
Uh-huh.
This is a Fox News breaking update right now. We have a situation. There has been a Chinese cyber attack that is going through homes.
And we've been talking about it 47 times, but it's still breaking news.
Well,
'cause
that's
we
when
have
you feel-
nothing else to talk about.
Well, it's hard. It's difficult to produce shows.
Yeah.
It's difficult to produce podcasts that are long, that are entertaining. So you're not just sitting here like,
Mm-hmm. They have good
Like
quality
this.
production.
and it's just quiet or bad topics.
yeah.
Something that's entertaining, that's educational. It's not easy. So they've got to keep it going 24/7.
They
It's like,
do.
keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Fill time, fill time, fill time. Don't get too excited over the polls. According to the polls, there should have been a red wave last time. And guess what happened? Nothing. Jay Saunders bringing that in.
Yep.
Yes and no in certain cases, Jay. But when all of the polling is showing this, and I did not believe there was going to be a, quote, red wave, because there were polling. There was polls that showed that there wasn't going to be a red wave too. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
With Trump, I mean, first of all, he's kicking ass in the Republican side.
Yeah.
And we already know that there's not even a Biden doesn't even have one topic to stand on, really.
Nothing. Not
I mean,
one thing.
so that's the problem that they have right there, is that everybody kind of knows that even though the national media doesn't cover all of the stuff that we do, that shows everything, and word is still getting out that he's an idiot, that he has no idea. Yeah, all news services do that. Breaking alert.
yeah.
It's wash, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
It's
for
to get
sure.
your attention. I sat through all of those meetings for so many years. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
can't
It's like, oh my
imagine.
God, we're going to do it again, especially when it comes to weather.
Oh, I bet. I bet that's
There's a-
boring.
We gotta watch. There could be a severe thunderstorm warning in the next 12 hours, 13. I'm like, okay, come on. Let's get this going. Let's not try to scare people into certain things. And Troy says Biden has caused a red wave this time around. And Jay says they still control the ballot machines. They being Democrats, and that's the one thing I always say, which concerns me.
Me too.
I'm like, oh, is it mail-in balloting? Yeah, then you're going to have an issue and a problem you're going to have to deal with.
Correct. Trump is going to have to win by 80,000 votes
He might.
plus, and I think he can. I think he probably did the last time, but he's going to have to win by even more. But we're going to have to reach people who get butt hurt, and we know people. Not many on our show do that, but just think about some friends we have. And I've said this before on the show: the people that are like Ted Cruz listeners, and that are not listeners, Ted Cruz voters. That's now the Ron DeSantis voters, and the people that would be, say, like Jeb Bush, that would be like the Nikki Haley. And those two groups of people literally take their Wheaties and they go home. Well, and you ask them, well, okay, if Trump wins, are you going to vote for them? No, because he's not Christian enough. No, because of this. Now, look at me, who's definitely a Trump supporter. I will still vote for Nikki Haley, and I still will vote for whoever else it is. I won't like it. I will think it's horrible, but I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden. And whoever they put up there is just another Joe Biden.
Glenn Thompson with the line of the day so far. I don't see any Build Back Better hats anywhere. That's for sure. And you're not going to, because unfortunately Joe Biden doesn't have a lot of support. Shay says we need serial numbers on all ballots.
Wouldn't that be great? I agree.
Of course it would
I
be.
agree.
Of course it would be.
100%.
But Americans will never learn until we lose everything, unfortunately. And you know that. I mean, we can have hope, and I try to have hope, but those kind of things happen.
Yes.
Glenn says, don't make fun of people who still believe in Santa. There's people who believe in Biden, actually got 80 million votes. That's right. No, I keep my hope up too. By the way, we'll get back to Donald here in a second. That movie that Megan took me and saw last night was The Shift. We saw the Angel movie.
Oh,
the
okay.
Angel Studios
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Freaking awesome movie.
I bet.
All about it. And by the way, Angel Studios, support them. check them out.
Yes.
What they're doing and going against Hollywood and succeeding, of course, they produced The Sound of Freedom, is absolutely amazing.
Love it.
No woke movies, no woke references, no cancel culture dialogue, none of that crap. It's just good, wholesome movies with real plots, real life situations, people overcoming whatever controversies and hurdles they have in their life, good overcoming evil. And they've got so many more movies coming, and they've got good actors. Hilary Swank is in a movie that's coming up too called Ordinary Angels, about a real life situation where one woman rallied an entire town to get a family to a hospital so a little girl wouldn't die 600 miles away, so that she could have a life-saving surgery. I saw the previews to that last night. That is an amazing movie that's coming up. But love Angel Studios, and they're doing it all from grassroots efforts.
Yeah, I love that.
And they're not trying to get into politics, but it is interesting that when you do something that's right down the middle,
Mhm.
it tends to be conservative or classified as that, even if it's just right down the middle with no political messages,
Yeah.
because the truth will always shine through. I was just blown away, and I have been ever since they put out The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. I
And-
haven't seen it, but now I need to go see it.
Oh, yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to go
Oh,
see
yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, you would really like it. And they've got several other movies that are coming up as well to make sure that they're taking charge and not dealing with how Hollywood has handled things
Mhm.
over and over and over again. And then when you get actors and actresses who want to be in these films and these inspirational stories, kind of like movies were in the 70s
Mhm.
and 80s, until we went woke, until we're like, oh, well, we need to be politically correct. I still blame the Clintons for politically correct,
Yes. Yes.
taking us down the path of
Correct.
cancel culture, woke
Mhm.
mob, everything. And that's why I always say we debate about a lot of things here. We debate the transgender issues, Joe and I and Lizzie. And that's why I always say, it's like, be careful when you start down a path. It's not just that little inch you're moving right now on that path, because once you start to go down that slippery slope, you don't stop. You just continue to go. And then it's like,
Correct.
when does it stop? When do we stop anything? Well, you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it all seems like, once again, let's pull on the heartstrings. Let's
Uh-huh.
pull on the heartstrings.
and guilt. It's heartstrings and guilt.
Oh, no, you're not going to bring up white guilt again, are you?
Any kind of guilt. But yes,
Okay.
white guilt for sure.
Nobody should have guilt.
No, you absolutely shouldn't have guilt. I mean, unless you went and really hurt somebody, but how you were born or how you were raised, you don't have anything to do with that. So you should not have any guilt about that.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, once again, everybody's, of course, we love the 80s action movies and Westerns. We talk about that with Kelly sometimes, and Eric, of course, who still lives in the 80s. And,
Yes, he does.
and those
I don't
things-
blame him.
I know. We all want to go back to the 80s.
I want to go back to the 80s.
Yeah, and Jace reminds us $7 billion to build charging stations and not a single one built. That's true. That is a fact. That has
Yeah.
happened with our government.
Mhm.
Once again, another problem that Joe Biden has. But of course, I don't think Democrats care. They just want anything that they can do to keep Donald Trump out of the
Correct.
White House.
Correct.
So that was my shout out for the movie The Shift, and
Mhm.
grateful to see that, and good actors as well. Back to Trump. Of course, we talked about, now that the left knows that Donald Trump, even if they can't cheat and beat him,
Mhm.
is a serious issue,
Yeah, they do.
and they're going to do it. The latest effort was to try to get Hillary Clinton to come in and push her.
That is unreal.
That Donald Trump's probably laughing, going, "Okay, that's easy."
Uh-huh.
But then, of course, they have these indictments and
Yeah.
what's going on, and Letitia Adams in New York, the New York Attorney General, how that woman, something should happen to her for what she is trying to
I
do with this
agree.
fake case, and we've called it from the beginning with what's going on.
Mhm.
Here's Alina Habba talking about Donald Trump and what happened in court yesterday. This is so fascinating because you're not going to hear it on national media or local media because they won't cover it. But you need to understand what is happening to this man, as Kid Rock was talking to Tucker Carlson about. It's fabricated, not right. And here she is explaining what just went down in court yesterday and how wrong it is, and what they're trying to do to Trump over and over and over. Yet he continues to win. And even if you don't like Trump, you have to respect the man for what he has decided to go up against, because he doesn't gain anything by being president. We would.
So let's talk about one thing that the press hasn't reported. We just listened to testimony from a man who has such distinct recognitions as an accounting expert that even Letitia James's team and the OAG's team used him themselves as an accounting expert. Professor Bartov was the New York Attorney General's expert in the Exxon case. Let's start there. But today, when he was on the other side, they spent the entire day objecting because he was giving testimony that didn't suit their claims. His testimony included that there was absolutely, and I quote, no fraud, that the statement of financial condition for President Trump was understated, that there was no evidence of concealment, and that in fact, President Trump's statements of financial condition had something that most other statements of financial condition don't have. 18 pages of descriptions and details about his properties, about his trophy assets, things that most people don't need to do and wouldn't do. The reason, because he had nothing to hide and he didn't conceal anything. This is not a publicly traded company. This is a private company. And the Attorney General is now sticking her nose into private companies. This is a very scary moment for our country. We have to have boundaries. We have to have laws. They were objecting every 5 minutes, and I really give credit today to the press that was in there. I did look at some of the feed, and it was accurate. There was absolutely no fraud. The statements were undervalued, and President Trump and the Trump Organization provided Deutsche Bank with everything they needed. Last week, we heard banks make clear that they thought they were a trophy client. They were the big whale that they wanted to get, and they valued their relationship. They said that holds true today. I don't know why we're here. I've said it before, and I say it again. Again, this case has absolutely no merit, and you don't have to believe me. A man that gives the Nobel Executive Committee recommendations on accounting and who should be recognized in accounting, that man that just sat in there for the entire day, made it very clear and had words with the AG and said, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I say it too. You should be ashamed of yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, she rocks. Alina Habba is a very, very, very capable attorney. And she's getting better and better in front of the media from the first time that she had to be out in front. Yes, she's attractive. I saw what you said, Gary, and she's super smart. And
Yeah,
she's tough. And she's tough as well. I mean, you're not used by Donald Trump to battle a case like this unless you know what the hell you're doing, unless you're a very good spokesperson as well. It makes me sick. If Republicans were doing this, or a Republican AG was doing what Letitia James is doing to a Democrat, I would call it out as well. It's sickening, and it's sad to think that a human being, because they want to run for president, is having to deal with this crap over and over and over again. And if and when he were ever to take office, boy, that would be a sweet, sweet day.
It would be so
because
fun.
of the crap that he has gone through. That is not fair. It is not right. It is not just. It is not legal. It is not factual. These are the things that are happening to Donald Trump. And we call it, and because once again, we will continue to say it, and you need to spread the message with friends and family and anybody else and share the show.
Yes.
There's a reason they don't want him in, and it's not because he would hurt this country. He would help this country, and that's the last thing that they would want. So why would they want a person in office that's not going to help this country?
They don't care about the country. It's all about power and control, and of course money, but they have an agenda that Donald Trump is ruining, and it's the whole world order. And a lot of these people are part of it, or at least they're getting money because of that agenda.
And it doesn't just stop there. The man in charge of all of this, his name is Jack Smith, the special counsel. Dirty as can be when you look at some of the things that have happened and some of the things that he is trying to do. It's not right. It's not on the up and up. We've also got a case now where Jack Smith, Mr. Jack Smith, special counsel, does not want to follow the rules and law and order in place right now. He wants to circumvent them. He is now going to the Supreme Court to try to stop Donald Trump's claim that he is not liable or doesn't have to address any issues that happened, and that he is not under any sort of position where he has to be, where he gets total autonomy to handle situation when he was president regarding documents. Well, the federal appeals court is where they should be going first. He went straight to the Supreme Court. Why? Because he wants this trial, because Trump, when this was brought up, said, well, no, we've got a problem with this. So then it would push it after the election. So the whole situation, and whether people want to admit or not, and the one good thing about Donald Trump is he drew a line and he forces you into your camps.
Yes.
So he called it out. The light gets shined on the street, and then you find out who's for you and who's against you. Donald Trump is now, the Supreme Court is now going to answer, allegedly, Jack Smith's request on whether Donald Trump has to deal with this case or not. And I'm like, I have a feeling the Supreme Court is going to rule in Donald Trump's favor.
Mm-hmm.
And they're supposed to do it before Christmas.
Right. And they think so too. They're running scared.
I mean, the actions show you, and it's clear as day, black and white, whether people want to see it or not, what he's trying to do. It's all to stop him from running for president. Well, I don't like the rules that are in place because Donald Trump appealed. And since he appealed what we want from him, it's not going to happen until after 20. We need to stop him. It's clear as day what Jack Smith is trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to understand everything that's going on if you just watch local news, if you watch national news, because they don't really break it down. Fox and Newsmax do a pretty good job of trying to break it down. But that's what happens. These kind of things are going on. Jack Smith won't stop because he is paid to stop Trump, day after day, stop Trump.
Yes.
And all Trump does is continue to dominate the polls, continue to dominate his Republican primary. I don't even want to call them challengers because they're not even challengers anymore.
No, there's no competition.
I can't even call them colleagues. I mean, I look at him like Don's their boss.
Correct.
His
Me
daddy.
too. Yep.
He's
For sure.
He's their daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're trying to do also, great point, Glenn, it's election interference is
Yes,
what they're
it
trying
is.
to do. Chris says the Supreme Court should boot the request like they've done all the other Second Amendment cases that they push back to the lower courts to play out there first. This is, it's I don't want to say it's unprecedented, but it's shocking to me that the Supreme Court is going to weigh in on this
Mm-hmm.
and weigh in on it so quickly, which makes me think that the only way the Supreme Court is going to decide is in the favor of Donald Trump, which would send special counsel back to the table to try something else,
Correct.
to throw some other crap against the wall to see if it sticks against Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think your assessment is right on there.
Glenn also says regarding Alina, you have to have a set of balls to represent Trump in any capacity because the
Balls.
government is going to come after you
Absolutely.
as well. You all of a sudden get put on that chalkboard.
Mhm.
You get put on that whiteboard, and then the lines underneath you get, okay, who do they go? Because when this stuff happens, they don't just go after Trump or the guy. They go after everybody else that's associated with them,
Yes.
just like the mafia would, just like the cartel would if you see in movies. It's like, okay, who's underneath them? Who's
Yeah.
underneath them? Family, friends, loved ones, any of those sorts of things. That's what happens.
That is,
And that's how
exactly
he
right.
is treated. That's how the people around him have been treated. You saw it with Rudy Giuliani. You saw it with other attorneys. Anybody that tries to defend the man, they get put into that. It's sad because that's America in this day. It is, as you hear, a third world-esque country, a dictatorship going on, people not getting due process. And you saw it with J6, and we've
Mhm.
talked about that so many times, of what's happening, including people in the St. Louis area, where it's not right. And national media gets bored of the story and they stop covering it. Local media gets tired of the story. They stop covering it. And then they never really covered the full story in the get-go. Over and over, this stuff is happening. And of course, if you care, it'll drive you crazy, but that's what we deal with. So we try to educate our listeners and try to maneuver your way in and out of everything, making the most impact that you possibly can, as Paul says. And they seem to be always 3 steps ahead, regardless of what they do. When the GOP is going to grow some balls and go after them is when things will change
Correct.
and the left will start to change.
Mhm.
But you already know. I mean, you still have a guy like Mitt Romney, who's really not a conservative, but most media will tell you he's a Republican. He's not really a Republican.
No, he's not.
I can call myself a doctor. I'm Dr. Faust, but I'm not a doctor.
Correct.
I can show up to events where doctors are and,
Mhm.
and walk in
And call yourself
and
that.
call myself Dr. Faust. That does not mean I'm a doctor.
Right.
If I'm voting, yet I can't vote correctly, I'm not a doctor. Mitt Romney still, I mean, hurling insults
Yes.
at Donald Trump.
Mhm.
Chris Christie, who I feel bad for the guy. I really do, in the sense that who would want to get up every day and be him and look
Right.
into the mirror?
Yes.
Because I guarantee he has no self-respect for himself
He can't. He can't.
because of what he's trying to do.
Yes. Yes.
He's made fun of everywhere he goes because he knows what he's doing is wrong. It's not just he gets out of bed and people make fun of him. He is provoking it. There's a
Mhm.
difference between provoking something and somebody doing something out of the blue. If somebody's
Correct.
doing something mean out of the blue, it's bullying. If you're provoking somebody and they respond, it's
Mhm.
not bullying.
Correct.
And
the-
that's what he is doing. He is provoking responses. He was pissed off at the debate last week. He went
yes,
up
he was.
and started complaining at Megyn Kelly that she wasn't being fair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my God, the gall that some of these people have. I get
Mhm.
who is in his ear telling him that somebody likes him.
I don't think anybody likes him. And
Is he married?
I don't know. That's a good question. Anybody on the chat
Or
line let us
kids?
know that he's married? I've never heard that. Like Lindsey Graham too. He's not
Megan-
married. with
Megan
kids.
says that's because he acts like a man child.
Absolutely. And Troy's saying that Christie he's butthurt all the time. Those are two great analogies about him. He's still butthurt over the fact that Donald Trump did not trust him and did not pick him for anything in his presidency. And Romney is also, I loved when Donald Trump invited him out and then made fun of the fact he had a strawberry vinaigrette salad. That was him in a nutshell. He was butthurt that Romney has been establishment Republican his whole life. And this Yahoo Donald Trump comes in and he takes the spot he couldn't accumulate because he didn't get elected.
It's interesting, new polling. We speak about it coming out this morning in the Sunshine State. This is from interactive polling that came out about an hour ago, the Florida Republican primary. Right now, listen to these numbers. This kind of gives you an idea of what's happening. Donald Trump, 60%. Second place, state of Florida. Who's from Florida? Ron DeSantis.
Mr. Sanctimonious? Yes.
Ron DeSantis in second place in this home state of Florida, 19%.
Wow.
Donald Trump with a 41% lead over Ron DeSantis in the state of Florida. But here's what shocks me in Florida. Chris Christie, 5%.
Wow.
Vivek Ramaswamy, 1%.
Yeah. And all the polls.
Haley,
Vivek's
8%.
not liked.
DeSantis, 19% in his home state.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
1,300 people in the state of Florida were interviewed for that.
Yeah. That is very interesting that Ron DeSantis is so low in polling anywhere. But, people don't really know him unless you're really that political. People don't even really know who he is. It surprises me when I talk to people and they're like, oh, yeah, that guy from Florida. They don't really even know who he is. Our listeners do because they're very plugged in. But the average person doesn't even know who he is.
Donna brings up an interesting point. Has anybody ever been called on your phone or sent an email for a poll?
Yes, I have.
Because Donna says we always talk, such and such have been interviewed. Never have I ever been called to be a poll. You know what? I take that back. When I was in Michigan and Detroit, I was actually called for one.
For one, I've been called for one,
and it was a phone,
Democrat
and it was
poll.
my phone, and
Yeah,
it was a landline phone, and it was the last landline phone that I had.
Me too. I
didn't even know that that's how they polled.
I'm curious if anybody. Well, that's one way.
Right.
They'll also send. You can be sent cards and emails.
I get text from different campaigns with polls, both Republican and Democrat. But as far as a phone call, once on a landline.
I'm curious
Democrat.
if anybody's ever been called. Let me know that. I did, and it's interesting too. When I was in local news, you always hear about ratings, and how they got ratings is they would call people and ask them to put a box on their TV or to be able to tell what they're
Nielsen
watching.
box.
A Nielsen box from the Nielsen ratings. And it was awesome. When I was in Detroit again, I had not one, but two of my friends who lived about 40 minutes from each other. They were both asked if they could do it, and they both did it. and they'd have their TVs on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
WXYZ,
Yeah.
Channel 7.
Yeah.
And needless to say, it did help us. So I did know people who got called to be meter watchers.
Okay.
And I also was called once, and I politely declined and just said, well, I work in a public situation where I wouldn't want my name associated with any sort of polling. So I'd just be curious, Donna, that's a great point to bring up. If anybody's actually ever been contacted for one of these polls. And if you were, I'm curious if you remember what the polling was. Let us know. So we've asked you two questions today. One, if you've been polled or what that was about. And two, chiming in on where you're watching from, where you're listening from, your town, your state, your country. We love to see what happens with that as well. Jeannie says, I've taken lots of Trump polls. Nothing else asked.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with her. I get a lot of polls. As I said, I get text a lot, and a lot of them are, how do I feel about Trump? How do I feel about the candidates against him, all the way back from 2016? So, but that's all anybody ever asks me too. They don't ask anything ever. I think I got one poll when Mike Carter was running, and that was it.
And you're talking about in the St. Charles, Missouri area. And that was a local race.
Yes. And I think that's it.
Joe, you ever get a call? You ever get anything?
Never. I've got plenty of summons to be a jury duty, but
Yeah.
never a poll.
That's the other side. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, hasn't everybody gotten a summons to be in jury duty?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Twice here too.
I've a handful at least.
Did you do it?
Once.
Okay.
And I answered all the questions enough to get kicked out.
Yeah. You can do that. I know I always got out of it because I ran a preschool, but my husband went and he wanted to be on that trial because it was a child abuser. And soon as he was asked, like the third go around, what would happen to you if you convicted it, he said he'd cut the guy's penis off. He's like, you're out. You abuse a kid, your penis is gone.
Yeah,
And so
mine
I
was-
kicked him out.
Penis, you
My-
got a vagina.
Mine was a guy who robbed a gun store, and so I was like, "Yeah, NRA, yeah, And,
Yeah.
yeah." They were like, "Yeah, see you later."
See you later. You're
Uh,
gone. Bye-bye.
We love when you guys join the live cast, the live podcast with your information. Of course, you guys make a lot out of it. Amy says, I got out of jury duty 2 weeks ago. Derek says, never so far, knock on wood, which is interesting. And Jamie says, yeah, I got one a long time ago, guys. I said I was a Republican, and they hung up.
And they hung up. That's so true. That's so true.
Trump.
Yeah, just
Trump.
say, whatever it is, it's all good with Donald Trump. They will never put you in a jury ever.
Oh, interesting. Who wants to do jury duty? That's the other side. Okay.
Jeannie said she does.
We never know where the show's going to go. Jeannie says, yeah, I want to do jury duty, but they don't ask me. That's usually how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you want to do it.
If you've never done it before, you want to do it, but once you do it, you're like, "Oh, God, get me the hell out of here."
Yeah, because it's so, like my husband
Especially if you don't like other people.
said.
Well, and
Yeah.
you get $5 a day, or something like that. It's some stupid amount of money.
Yeah, I remember like Shay saying that she wants to be sequestered. Brenda, who's one of our listeners, that was one of our neighbors, she got sequestered while we were neighbors.
Oh my God. I want to get sequestered.
Uh-huh.
Please take me. Take me away from everything else that's going on.
Yeah, I wonder if that's fun or not these days. I don't know.
Chris says, hey guys, I was polled during the last Illinois governor's race and could tell it was from a Democratic group because after I started adding my 2 cents about Boss Hog Pritzker, they finished the poll pretty fast.
I'm guessing so.
That's how you do it.
Click, click.
Thank you. Don't call us. We'll call you. And yes, we are backing you from that. Troy says, and they pack you in like sardines.
Yeah.
It is interesting when you do all of that because as Scott Rosenblum, one of the country's best defense lawyers, has told us several times on the show, he's like, the key with winning any of these is picking the jury.
Yeah.
In any case,
Absolutely.
it's picking the jury. He's like, that's where you can win and lose cases. Anyway, this is cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate you guys jumping in. Shout out to our sponsors. And we always ask you, please, just when you, at any time, just go to cancelthisshow.com, click on the partners, and you can check out our advertisers, people that we have some sort of relationship with, and we're trying to help out, and they try to help us out. That includes Amini's, the leading supplier in traditional infrared saunas in saltwater hot tubs, not just for luxury. This is for your health, heart health, blood circulation, weight loss, life expectancy increasing as well. Experience Realty Partners, expect to be moved. Kathy Helbig Strick, Steve Strick with USA. Let's see here. The New American Funding, powered by Score Mortgage, 314-276-SOLD. We have all the links on our page. It takes you right to them. They'll help you. There's no pressure. And of course, they're associated with us. They help us do what we're doing. Route 66 Dispensary, 5 locations throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. And of course, Ham also owns Ostara brand lines. And they've got all kinds of cannabis lines, and those are in hundreds of stores throughout the state. Solar City STL, once again, Solar City STL. They're busy because people are finding that using solar is helping them save money, helping them get off the grid. It makes sense when you use a lot of energy. Strategic Air Services, the private premier transportation facility in the St. Louis metropolitan area. We're talking about the best private flying if you need to get out on business, if you want to go with your family, if you're going with a bunch of people, you can avoid the TSA, you can avoid the lines. Also, if you're looking to get into the aviation industry, they're also looking for pilots and people and young people, young men and women who want to train to be pilots. If you're also looking to rent things that you may not own or don't want to buy or can't afford right now, WeQuip has got you covered, a peer-to-peer rental marketplace where rentals can go and search for items that they need that their neighbors might not have, their friends, loved ones. And of course, Winty's in the Chesterfield Valley, some of the best pizza, burgers, wings, smoked meat you're going to find. Great atmosphere, incredible staff, and of course, live entertainment on the weekends as well with a heated patio right now too. So lots of space out there as well. You can also go to canceltheshow.com as we promote our merchandise page. You click on the merch and we've got cups, we've got hats, we've got t-shirts, we've got Cancel This Coffee. It's an organic coffee, a really good brand as well. So we've got you covered from that standpoint. And of course, if you want to donate, during the holiday season to help us offset our bills, we would be grateful for that as well. It goes to a great cause. You know what we do. You can go to the donate button and click there. And of course, we would love to give you a shout out if you do. And if you don't want to, we wouldn't do that as well. But this is canceltheshow.com. We're always looking for you guys to get involved in the show, part of the live cast, which makes the podcast even more popular for those people who listen outside of the live time of Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. And of course, you jump in with your information, your entertainment, your education. We try to do the same thing. And we make it a very good day, Monday through Friday as well. Jeannie says, I was a star witness in a case, though. I'd like to hear more about that story.
I would too. I would like to hear that.
That would be interesting.
Uh-huh.
Donna says, over half of my Christmas lights are solar. Some nights, there's some pretty some nights, but not so much. Oh, they're pretty. I guess I didn't even know that holiday lights were running on solar.
Well, and I would guess
Interesting.
that if you had a lot of sun,
Thanks
that
for the
day,
education there.
lights would be really pretty. But if it was kind of a cloudy day, your lights might not be as pretty. I'm assuming that's what she's saying.
Amy says her parents are getting solar next week. Gosh, Amy, I hope they went with Solar City STL because the people that I know that have gotten solar, they love it right now. They absolutely love it. They're like, yep, it was the best thing. It made sense for us to go ahead and do it. But they're different. They're like, we want to get off the grid.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
We don't trust the government. Let's get off the grid and do this ourselves. And, we're set up for the next 30 years.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that now want it.
Yeah, this is canceltheshow.com. Vic Faust here. Lizzie Sparks, Pro Joe in the house as well. Eric Johnson joins us on Fridays when he comes in. Kelly Mano as well. Appreciate her supporting us and promoting us as she does. By the way, she's really liking the show.
She is. When she left,
she came in 2 straight weeks.
She did. And I think she said, and correct me if I'm wrong, but as she was walking out, she was saying to us that she had so much fun. She thinks she's coming in on every Friday if she can.
Really?
Yep. That's what she was saying to Eric and I.
Greg and I have been working on the props and everything for the dating game, so I hope we're really doing that.
Yes, no, we're really doing it. Eric really wants it done.
The props?
Yeah, he's got these black screens that we can put up, partitions.
Okay.
To where,
We're trying. Here's the thing. We're trying to get Kelly Mano. You can look her up.
And listen to our show last
media
Friday if you didn't hear it.
You can check it out if you're new to that. Millions and millions of followers. She's a comedian. She does a fantastic job of doing a dating game and hooking her up with somebody.
Yes, because it's so fun to, to joke with her that she thinks she'll never find love again. And Eric kind of,
But she's not really pushing it.
No, but this will be fun to do the dating game. It'll be a lot of fun.
I
and,
hope it is.
and Eric and Joe kind of had the idea to do it. And so I think it's going to be done. No.
And then I've enlisted Greg because I know he's got a bunch of props
He
and
does have a
everything.
bunch of
So
props.
of course he has a bunch of stuff that's going to help us out.
That
so.
would be great. And I don't see Greg on the chat line because he'd be loving that we're talking about him right now.
It could be. All
Yeah.
right. Well, we'll see where that goes. Other subjects, other topics, something that just came out this morning too. I wasn't planning on talking about, but it kind of frustrates me to see this. Harvard's president is not going to be forced out.
I saw that.
The board, she is going, despite her support for
Mhm.
anti-Semitism, she is not going to be forced out. 500 faculty signed a letter stating that she should not be removed. I'm sorry. Harvard used to be this great school. They're not
Yeah.
a great school.
No, they're not.
You can talk about people allegedly being smart, allegedly being intelligent, but if they're allowing any sort of anti-Semitism to take place, then it can't happen.
Correct.
How can you
Correct.
push forward with that if that's going? It's not. So they're getting to stay. We already talked about the president of Penn being pushed out. Always great when you see the owners coming by the studio.
I
You
love
just never
it.
know who's going to walk through. Kevin and Steve and crew. It just frustrates me. Oh, by the way, Glenn says, call the dating game swipe left, swipe right.
There you go.
Swipe
sure.
left, swipe right.
Uh-huh. Would you ever swipe left?
I don't even understand. No.
No, I mean left. I think
No.
he's meaning political swipe left.
No.
Yeah, I think a better name for
It would never, ever work out. So that's
No.
what I could never be married or date, especially in 2023.
Mhm.
Anybody that does not agree with the political views. Now,
Correct.
I keep an open mind, and I think that I've proven that, right?
You have, but now it's not just politics anymore. It's an actual ideology of a lifestyle too. Now it's not just politics.
How so?
Well, when you look at somebody that's left, as a general rule, a lot of them don't have a faith. A lot of them are atheist. A lot of them have no clue as to anything of reality. They are
I agree with number 3.
what?
They don't have any degree of understanding of reality.
They don't.
No, but here's the thing, though. I've got friends who are liberal that are debating whether they want to vote for Biden, but they're intelligent and they do have faith. They do. My friends do.
Well, they have faith without understanding. And there is a difference. You can have faith, and I'm not saying that you go to hell, but I was like, but if you have faith and you really follow scripture, you cannot follow Biden just on the Israel issue alone. Just on that issue alone, the Bible is very explicit on how you back Israel. So you might have faith in a higher power, but you don't have faith in the God of scripture.
Yeah, I couldn't.
don't.
I couldn't. I mean, I could not date somebody who's left. It wouldn't work.
Right.
There was never. That's
They would kill me by the end of the day. I
No.
think. Yeah. Nobody would date me that was a Democrat.
no. That's why I have a conservative.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that no way in hell. Megan says morals, ethics, and values are very different on the liberal side. Jeannie says you are correct, Lizzie.
Yeah.
And Jeannie says, well, I hope they're ready for no donations. They've already said millions will be lost if she doesn't step down. Who is that if she doesn't step down?
I'm assuming they're going back to Harvard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The donors are going to leave.
yeah, they have. They've already lost hundreds of millions and they're going to lose more.
Yes.
They're going to lose more. Shay, by the way, trying to get to some of the quotes that people are jumping in because we love you. We try to get to as many of your guys' thoughts as we can. Me either, Vic. I don't even think I could be close friends with someone that wasn't conservative.
Well, you know,
I am, but that's fine.
You are, and I tried to be. I really did. I had friends of all different political persuasions until 2015. And then when I got so behind Donald Trump from the minute he went down the elevator, the vitriol that I got from people that once was my friend, even people back from high school, they acted so, I want to say the word is better than me, and that I was dumb, and that I didn't know better, and that I had white privilege, and I had this, and I got blocked by so many
You
people.
do have white privilege. Haven't you gone through the class yet?
Yes, that's right.
I took the class last week and I was privileged and now
Uh-huh.
I understand my
now
white.
you understand.
I
Now you
under-
understand your whiteness.
I understand more about my whiteness
So
now.
now are you going to go wash people's feet?
And because no, I'm not going to go that far, but I'm spoiled because I'm white and I have so many good things, as you guys know. My life is so easy and nice
Mm.
because I'm white.
Yeah, you don't have any white privilege if that's
It is interesting. The president of Harvard, she's a black woman. Now, she did apologize, and this is where it comes in, because I always say, listen, if somebody screws up, they F up, do your apology, get better, and move on. And people just need to leave you alone. We don't need keyboard warriors. However, when it comes to a massive issue of life and death, an attack on Israel, October 7th, the most bloodshed since World War II, and what Nazi Germany did to Jews, then it becomes another issue.
Mm-hmm.
But this is interesting because Harvard's quote on the whole situation about keeping Miss Gay is the fact that they said, quote, President Gay has apologized for how she handled her congressional testimony and has committed to redoubling the university's fight against anti-Semitism. So right now, there's no proof that it will happen. Will it get swept under the rug, and will changes be made? We won't know until we go ahead. But it says Gay and her counterparts at the University of Pennsylvania and MIT have drawn fierce criticism after they allowed students to question genocide of Jews. Man, oh man, oh man. Anyway, these things continue to happen. You know what? I'll be honest. I was hoping that they would send a bigger statement at Harvard and get rid of and get rid of her and say, listen. And she apologizes and she moves on to another job, but they didn't.
You know what?
Because words are cheap. Things start with words, Bendy, and then the actions follow. But I think you have to have the words and the actions together.
You got to back them up. And speaking of words, ask someone that say Gen Z or in college now what genocide even is. They don't even know what that word means. So the reason why they can't answer that question is they don't even know what the question even means. So the word genocide, they were like, well, okay, I don't know. Everybody's got to do their own thing. And I've seen so many things on social media of people asking college students about that, and they can't answer because they don't even understand the question.
Joe, you're right. The president of Harvard has also been proven to have plagiarized parts of her doctoral thesis. That is 100% fact.
That is fact.
That has been shown. And there is no doubt in my mind that she was allowed to stay because of the color of her skin. I'm going to call it. I'm not afraid to say it. Why is she getting preferential treatment? She's a black woman.
Yeah.
And the black woman also brought in one of the dumbest women ever to be an attorney. And Lori Lightfoot to be a professor at Harvard. Harvard is not the school that they used to be. They're just not. We all know that. They know that. Their alumni know that. And of course, those things go through. Mary says, actually, there's black privilege and it's everywhere.
Yeah, and that's not an ask.
Tara
a black
calls her
person.
a DEI hire.
Correct. She fits two boxes. She's black and a woman, and a black woman fits two pegs. Yep, that's what it is. And they make excuses for dumb black people. And that sounds mean to me, but there's so many intelligent, wonderful black people, white people, whatever color. But if you notice, they just will hire people that will do whatever they say. And they're probably not that intelligent because then they can tell them to do whatever they want them to do.
God, I don't want to get off the subject too much, but Donna just posted, I asked my 20-year-old son about Pearl Harbor. I asked him what Pearl Harbor was. He had no idea.
That's going back to the genocide question. I was shocked at how many people don't even understand the question.
Yeah.
I thought Pearl Harbor was an oyster farm.
Well, a lot of people would. A lot of people would. I mean, that's the thing that we're not.
That was a joke. I never really thought that, but
that was fun. But that's literally the problem today. Is that our kids don't even understand the verbiage. I remember growing up, my dad, and schools back then were big on vocabulary words and the meanings of vocabulary words. Kids don't have that very much, so they don't even understand what words mean. I mean, that's fundamentally the problem here. Because if you said to a kid, if you asked them the question, are you okay with raping women and cutting babies' heads off? They would be, well, no. But if you say something about genocide, are you okay with genocide? A lot of their answers will be, well, everyone has a right to their own opinion because they don't even know what it means. That's why. You have to spell it out and make it a graphic diagram to kids today because they don't understand basic words.
No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah. And like Bindi says, and they don't care. And they don't care. And a lot of, we don't have spelling like we used to. We don't have vocabulary like we used to.
Yeah, I knew it would get us going.
Yeah, got us going.
But those are the kind of things that can happen. And unfortunately, those are some of the news stories that are coming out today. And of course, we're trying to make sure everybody understands everything that's happening. Oh well. We have another big story that's come out. I think it's a big story at things that are happening right now. With all the problems of Disney is now being sued by 9,000 women.
Wow.
This is a case that's been going on for 4 years.
Yeah.
And finally, the last hurdle, a judge allowing this case to go through, it alleges that Disney paid 9,000 women less than their male counterparts. Now, the judge says there's evidence for this to move forward. This after all the problems that Disney's had with going woke, with their woke movies, their woke shows, their woke ideology, their DEI pushing, their changing of characters to fit all sorts of transgender ideals and trying to change Disney characters from their colors to sexual orientations, pushing sex on kids at early ages. They have suffered greatly from a financial standpoint. Bob Iger comes back in. Oh, we hope we're going to save the day. And then Disney continues to bomb.
Mm-hmm.
The latest movie, Wish, still bombing.
Yes.
All over the place as Americans start to wake up to what Disney is and has been about. Now, a judge literally certified a class action lawsuit that's moving forward. Now, the suit's going to be the largest certified ever under California's Equal Pay Act, which makes it illegal for workers to be paid less for substantially the same kind of work as their male counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney's got problems. They've been trying to get this canceled for 4 years, obviously. They said that they're disappointed. They're considering their options. I don't know what you do with 9,000 women.
I don't know what you do either.
I mean, I don't even know how do you settle that?
I don't know how you would settle that. And just think about what you're saying. That's Disney that's been so left. And the left has been so pushing women's equal rights and all that. And yet they've been screwing women.
Well,
literally.
See, Disney's trying to say that the plaintiffs, and it'll come out in court, are trying to compare salaries across thousands of different job groups.
And there's a lot of truth to that. There is a lot of truth
which can
to that.
mean that it's not an apples to apples comparison of what's happening and that it's a money grab. Now, we know attorneys will go after certain issues and try to take whatever money that they can. And we know that the attorneys that sue can make things a problematic situation for everybody involved. But both sides have retained experts to prove or disprove that there's a gender pay gap. They said that it was 2% less for women than men starting. 2%.
Wow.
And they said that they have proof of that. So
that'll be interesting.
I just 9,000 freaking women. And it's going to be another issue for Disney.
Yeah.
I mean,
Disney's got so many problems.
Yeah. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, where's all the money coming in for Disney?
Right. They've got so many problems. And it's so sad. And we've talked about it so much on the show. It was the most magical place anywhere. And now it's just a bastion of everything that's wrong with the world and what's wrong with children. So it's like, I personally wish somebody would just go into Disney that was just not political, go back and make it to the most magical place for kids, because it's a great place to take your kids. My kids have gone multiple times, but since they've started this, we haven't gone back. And I hate that. I really like it. And like Troy says, Disney sucks, and it does suck right now. And it didn't ever used to be that way. It was so fun. And now you have to worry about if Mickey Mouse is a pervert. I mean, because you go to places and Mickey Mouse is often a pervert.
But the other thing about this, Disney was also trying to be the quote company of woke.
Right.
DEI.
How ironic with that.
When you break that down, we're DEI. Really?
Really?
Diversity, equity, inclusion. And you're being accused of not. Now, I don't know the facts. I don't know the facts. So it is just interesting that a judge who does know the facts has pushed forward the case and had a chance to stop that.
Well, my point to Mickey Mouse being a pervert, Jeannie says that she went to Disney World twice, never took her kids because it was weird. When she went in the 80s, it was weird. The big bad wolf pinched her butt, and that was it.
Okay, great.
So, I mean, think about that. They do. There's some
Meow.
really weirdos that are behind those costumes. And you know, a lot of times Mickey Mouse is a girl or, Daffy Duck is a boy. I mean, they're not even real. Not that I care about that especially, but all of it's just gotten janky.
Megan says when you're a gender
Mhm.
neutral company, 9,000 women means nothing to them.
Correct.
Um,
Very good point.
Interesting. But it's also, 2 weeks ago, I was filling in on Wesley Smith's show, The Wolf of Washington, Slightly Right. And one of his female guests who doesn't consider herself left at all, but she won't say I'm hardcore right. She's like, I'm more down the middle, maybe a little right, but I don't want to upset anybody. And I don't want to, I'm not going to talk about politics.
And that's
ever
where the slightly
publicly.
right comes in.
She's like, I'm never going to talk about it. And she's mid-30s. When I was bringing up some Disney thing, she's like, well, I'm still going to always love Disney regardless of this news.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I was raised on Disney.
Yeah. And
How
understand
could
that.
I could never go back and not like Disney.
Yeah. Then she hasn't delved, because she's not political, she hasn't delved into all the problems with Disney. Because if you look at it face value and you're not savvy with the news, you still think Disney's fine.
Because she had no idea that this was even
Correct.
going
She
on.
didn't know.
That was,
yeah.
I was like,
She didn't know.
Because people are so caught up and because so many, and she is the third woman in her 30s that I know that I've talked about said, I don't want to know anything about the news. I don't keep up with headlines. I'm just trying to do my own thing, pay my bills, hang out with my friends, and try to live a good life.
Yeah. I envy people like that. I do. I wish I could just go back to the way I was when I didn't understand the truth about a lot of things. Life was so much easier, but that's the problem. That's how we all acted. And that's the problem because we let the people who wanted to ruin the country get way out ahead of us.
People like that are the equivalent of the guy who wants to get put back in the Matrix. He goes
Mhm.
back and he's talking to the Smiths and he's like, I want to be put back in. Ignorance is bliss.
Yes.
Oh,
Ignorance is bliss.
it is. Ignorance
It is.
is bliss.
Yes, it is.
Derek says $130 a day per ticket. Hell no.
Mhm.
I can get a season pass at Silver Dollar City for the same price. But once again, it's also the situation where kids get conditioned.
They do.
And parents are just kind of, we want our kids to be happy. We want to give them everything. And
Yeah.
we want them to have fun. And they see their videos and we want to have a vacation. And that's what you do.
And I get that. And I get that. And if they're very little and you just can't get past it and you want to take them, fine. But don't let them sit on Mickey Mouse's lap anymore.
Oh my gosh, Lizzie.
Well, I mean, it's true. The same thing when you think about, I have a lot.
You're right. You're probably right.
I mean, it's true. I mean, just think about it. I love Santa Claus. I still love Santa Claus, but a lot of Santa Clauses, just think about the barbarian way we do that. We take cute little kids, put them on a stranger's lap that looks scary and is all red and this big beard. And a lot of times Santas are drunk. I mean, think about what we do to our kids out of cuteness.
No,
But if you
I know.
really break it down,
That's true.
Think about what those Santas go through, though, man.
I was a Santa
Oh,
once.
yeah.
I played Santa.
and
had
I know a
fun
lot
doing
of
it.
good
Did you ever get-
Santas.
Peed
Peed
on?
No.
Well, I'm sure it happens.
Yeah. Most
No.
of the Santas I think really are good. But I mean, I don't know. As you guys know, I owned a preschool before and we had Santa come in drunk before. So
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Here
why
we go.
not? Santa
I'm
was-
waiting for the bad Santa reference. Here we go. Sherry says that Disney is turning Milan 2 into transgender.
I heard that.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I have a daughter that we
If you don't like it, back it. If that's for you, if you're about your kids and transgender,
then
you know
maybe you
what?
want to watch it. But I'm not
if you
gonna
don't
watch
back it, let Disney know. When you vote with your pocketbook,
Yeah.
when you take your money away. Those are the types of things that you send your message with the money.
I just don't want anybody talking to my 5-year-old kid about sex at all.
It's happening every day on commercials and
It
TV
is.
and
Stop
everything.
talking about sex to a 5-year-old about no matter
always
what kind of
happens.
sex. Right.
And-
When I was a kid, it was just uncomfortable to see a tampon commercial. We've gone way beyond that.
Another news headline today: Zelensky's in D.C. asking for more money. I'm not kidding. And they had the Capitol blocked off as well today. Literally,
Mhm.
the Capitol is blocked off while Zelensky's inside looking for cash. Do you know that fool showed up at Argentina's swearing in of their president?
Yeah.
He showed up looking for money from the new Argentina,
Of course he
Milei,
did.
Javier Milei.
He's not going to give him any money.
He is going it's not stopping. This guy, once again, America, be smart.
Mhm.
I know it was fun and it made people feel good. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings about the whole Ukraine thing and let's wear blue and yellow flags because
Stop it with your Ukraine flags. Stop it.
it was a disaster.
Mhm.
It was a mistake. Nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. Russia was never going to overtake anything more than what they already did. The war, quotes, war, it's not going anywhere. The commander of the Ukrainian army has already stated that it's a standstill. Nothing's going to change. There's nothing more that can be gained. And then you have this dipshit still all over the place, all over the world. He shows up he wanted to go to Israel.
Mhm.
And Netanyahu said, no, now is not the time. You're not coming here. He goes to Argentina because guess what? That's where the media and the news is. And what does a good actor always need or an actor always needs? An actor needs an audience.
Correct.
So
Correct.
he's looking for the audience. And now he's in D.C. And why is he in D.C.? Oh, to try to change the narrative. Who is under a lot of pressure right now again? Joe Biden. Hunter Biden. So where are we going to try to do? Oh, we're going to try to move the news somewhere else. And my guess is, even though I don't watch it, local news, national news will be covering Zelensky being in D.C.
Mm.
Is this how it goes?
Yeah. I almost died laughing when I thought about the Ukraine.
The AP
people.
Wire has just come out with a report that says Zelensky will not be wearing tights and high heels when he is talking to American political figures today.
Well, that's a good thing.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
You missed my joke.
But you can
guys
still
missed my
call him.
joke.
I'm still back to thinking when you called him a dipshit. I thought that was the best name that you could have ever
He
called
is.
him. He is a dipshit. That's just good.
There's nothing good about this man.
Nothing.
Ugh.
Nothing. And and so many people, because you were talking about earlier, pulling the heartstrings, people want to love other people. So they went straight into, oh, we got to worry about the Ukraine people. Oh my gosh. And as they had a Black Lives Matters because Black people matter and the Ukraine people matter, but they don't know the facts. They just don't know the facts. So if you have a neighbor that still has a Ukraine flag and a Black Lives Matters thing, they're a dipshit. I mean, it's
No,
like,
I won't go that far.
no, they are a dipshit.
And you know what? You're allowed to give your opinion. I'm not going that far because I think that people, well, maybe they are.
Oh, come on. They are dipshits.
But here's the
Think
thing.
about
But
it.
their hearts are in the right spots.
They probably have big hearts.
These politicians know better.
Correct. Well, so
they know
should
better.
know too.
They know better. Americans are dumb.
They are
They're just dumb because we don't educate ourselves because of how life is set up. But if anybody broke down where the money's going, how much of it has not been earmarked, how we don't know where much of it is, how it's gone to places it should not have gone, what's the actual end game by giving them? There is no end game. So if you're throwing money, good money at bad situations, and there is no end game,
Mm-hmm.
that's a bad situation. Well, okay, we're going to give you hundreds of millions of dollars and it'll get up into the billions. What's the end game? To stop Russia. Really?
Ugh.
It's not going to stop. There's going to be a standstill. And all it does, if that money is truly going to fight, it's not going to go anywhere. But that money is not all going to help fight. And it's not going for weapons. It's going to different individuals.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
That's why you have Zelensky everywhere he's going, trying to get money.
Megan says what he's going to be wearing next is a Garanimals tracksuit when he goes out.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah, it could happen.
Oshkosh bagosh.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
gosh, I remember that.
Oshkosh bagosh. I hadn't heard that in a long time. Oh my gosh. And Chris says ignorance is problematic and should be called out and shamed if it is willful ignorance. And I do. I do think that. I see people occasionally with those two signs in their yard, and that is willful ignorance. And they might have a college degree or be a teacher or be a business person or whatever, but come on, you are so dumb.
So Zelensky's coming to D.C. as there's more and more pressure that's being put on the Biden administration and impeachment inquiry leading into impeachment. Republicans are now seeming seemingly on the same page because they say the evidence is overwhelming of Biden corruption, which we have all known from the get-go. And more evidence continues to come out. Hunter Biden being indicted, whether it's a good thing, bad thing, even though James Comer says that him being indicted by Weiss is not, and then Hunter acting like he's pissed is an act. They're literally saying it's an act so that he doesn't have to come testify behind closed doors with the oversight committee, which is led by James Comer, the Republican. They don't want to do it because they know that they are effed if they do. So they're being indicted. So what do you have to do? You have to try to change the narrative some way. This is what the Biden administration, Obama administration does in media headlines. When you control the national media or most of it, then you're trying to control the message. And that's what's happening. We see it day after day. It has not stopped. And guess what else continues to happen? And we're not forgetting about it, the border.
Yeah.
All kinds of crap. Just this happened last Friday, the end of last Friday. Check out this news reporter from Fox News. He's shocked and stunned as he talks about the amount. This has not stopped. By the way, last week was considered to be the largest day of illegals coming into the country. I think it was on Thursday. It has not stopped just because media won't cover. We do. Cancel This does it. That's why we want to be able to have the funds to do everything that we do here on a daily basis, because we're going to continue to get the news out there. Watch his report. Look at the people who are coming in. Once again, military-aged men, all by themselves, young single men lined up coming into our country.
No, it's not stopping, Dana. The numbers are actually getting even worse. Multiple CBP sources telling me this morning in the last 24 hours, Border Patrol alone has made more than 10,000 apprehensions of illegal immigrants. That does not even include CBP ports of entry. And you can see the situation here in Lukeville behind us. We got well over 800 people waiting in line here after they crossed illegally overnight, waiting to be apprehended by Border Patrol. Once again, it's like deja vu from yesterday. You can see these guys are coming in from all over the world. A lot of African men, mostly single adult men here. Some of them were setting campfires overnight in the cold, camping out here, waiting to get taken into custody by Border Patrol. But CBP sources telling me in the last 24 hours in this Tucson, Arizona sector, there were almost 2,900 apprehensions, and the Border Patrol facilities out here are currently running 200% of their capacity. That is why there are so many people out here waiting to be taken into custody by Border Patrol. Now, Arizona has a Democrat governor. Her name is Katie Hobbs. She has not yet sent any state resources down here. No Arizona troopers, no Arizona National Guard. That's unlike what we've seen in the state of Texas with Governor Greg Abbott. Well,
Republicans
Governor Hobbs
versus
is
Democrats.
calling for more federal action when it comes to helping in Arizona. Take a listen.
We need the federal government to act and provide more resources, and we've been very clear about that. There's a lot more they could be doing, both the Biden administration, and again, I know this is beating the drum that we've been beating for decades, but we need comprehensive immigration reform to really thoroughly address this issue.
Yeah, you know what you do? Here's how you address the issue. You address the issue by deporting the illegals. It's very simple. Katie, shame on you. Katie, you certified your own election results over Kari Lake, which was total bullshit.
Yep.
And you did it because you knew what happened in the most Republican county in the state. There were election problems. You shouldn't even be the governor. Yet you're refusing to put resources at the border to try to stop that. Once again, Democrats have chosen illegal immigration, illegal aliens in your backyard. Republicans are trying to stop it. This is not oh, well, you're being mean. This is black and white.
It's
truth
simple.
and untruth. It is simple as it comes. This is the ABCs of what's happening. Once again, Democrats want this, and they're showing that they want it by their actions. Republicans are trying to stop it. And it's not stopping. Wait, these people are coming in. Does it scare me? Hell yes, it scares me.
The daylights out of me.
And that's not where it's stopping, because videos are now coming up. And we've talked about this with John Rourke, people coming up from South America, and it's only a matter of time. I mean, I'm surprised South America has anybody living there anymore because of videos like this. Check out this video of these people coming in just from a few days ago where the video was posted. I think I saw this last week as well. I mean, look at this. We can talk over it. I mean, as these people, look at the numbers of people who are on their way. People, America
I mean,
has
as
changed.
far as your eye can see.
America is screwed. Even Donald Trump, and I love Donald Trump's policies and what he says he's going to do. It's going to be damn near impossible for him to try to remove all of these illegals that are being allowed in under Joe Biden and his administration. And liberals all over America are backing this. Well, we need help from the federal government. Really? Call his ass out. Don't be political. You know what you need. Go and do something about it.
Isn't it funny how, like, when you're watching videos like this on the more rougher terrain, that's when you're seeing the women and children, but on the ones where people are just strolling across the border, it's all just military age men?
Very good point.
Well, it all depends
Very
on where
good
they're coming from.
But still, that's a very good point. And Kevin on the chat line says, nothing to see, folks. Let's just focus on fake inequality and different genders. When you have failed policies, you pivot to made up social issues.
Well, we don't try to scare people. We want to tell truth. And these are things that are going on. And the border and the illegal aliens and illegal immigration that's happening in this country is near and dear to our hearts because we know what it's going to do. It is taxing our public schools right now. It is taxing our healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
It's taxing our financial community. It will tax food supply. It will tax everything when you have all of a sudden millions of illegal aliens coming into your community and changing things. Try to go get doctor's appointments. All the things have changed. You'll be sitting and waiting. These things are happening. And you may not see it as much in the St. Louis area yet, but it's coming.
Oh, it's already here.
I mean,
already
you
here.
don't see it as much
That's true. Not
as you do in
bad.
Texas and
Mhm.
Arizona, and some of these areas, New Mexico, California, but it's coming. Even Oklahoma and Kansas are reporting
Yes.
a lot of these situations have. These people have to go somewhere because they know there's no deterrent. They're illegally coming into the country on purpose and waiting in line
Yes.
to be detained because they're not going to be shipped out. They're going to be shipped in.
Yes. And when they're given money, they're given phones, they're given health care, and in many cases, they're given places to live. They line up in these buses and they'll be like, okay, this is going to Detroit. This is going to O'Fallon, Missouri. This is going to Maine. This is going, and they may not know where it is, but they're getting on buses with destinations that they have a choice.
Mary says you're going to be doing video chats with the physician assistant.
Yep. That's why they're pushing it
These
already.
illegals are getting services. Yeah. From the VA hospital. We talked about
Mhm.
that. $5,000 Visa
They
card.
sure are.
The Fox News guy also reported at the end of his report. I wanted to get out there and kind of jump in after we saw the remarkable video there is the fact that whether they were saying it for the cameras or not, Biden, yay, Biden,
Mhm.
Biden.
Mhm.
But once again, are they really going to vote? The mail-in balloting is a problem.
I mean, I used to think that they were all coming in just to screw the voting up. And of course, I still think there's a lot of it. But after hearing Max yesterday and hearing other people like that, like he was saying, any minute we could have a soft jihad. But I think there's other nationalities. Any minute, these people are coming in, going in little cell areas and waiting to be told what to do next.
Biden's the fall guy, as I've stated
Of course
before.
he is.
And he and his son are the best fall guys. Jill Biden will have nothing to do with that family as soon as he dies. And that sounds hardcore, but as soon as he dies, she has, if she has anything to do with him now outside of escorting him off stages and onto stages, it would be blamed on him. He'll be
Mhm.
gone. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. We did everything we could, which is why I still think you're going to see some sort of lively, colorful Democratic candidate pop in before the 2024 election. Somebody who's happy that the media can jump on to try to get people's attention because we know that Joe Biden can't do it.
Correct.
Too many Democrats have already called him out for his age
Mhm.
and because of his lack of performance and because of his inability to speak and everything else that he has done. It's the American people's fault if they don't demand more. And you demand more by getting out and doing things and actually having these conversations. That's where it goes. That's what happens.
Wouldn't you love to know what Cami really thinks about all of this?
We
Like,
already know she does not like Joe Biden.
We
She
do.
and she knows that she's called him racist.
she has.
That's her feeling. She knows she was selected to the position.
Correct.
And then
he is
she's failed in
racist.
her position as well.
And do you think she failed on purpose? Or do you think
Maybe.
she's dumb?
Maybe. I don't think she's dumb because she didn't. You don't attain to be an attorney general of
Correct.
the state of
That's
California by being dumb.
right. That's
She
why
has
I
a law.
wondered.
She has a law degree.
So I wonder where she fits into this next.
I don't know, but she's the lowest rated vice president
She
in the
is.
history of the country. That was not her goal.
Correct.
I promise you that
Correct.
much.
Correct. Nobody likes her. She has no say. She has no bearing on what's going to happen next. She's going to be soon used, as someone's saying on the chat line, that she's just going to be gone.
Gary calls her knee pad Harris. Darren says, yeah, the rumor Michelle Obama to run will be installed to run. We've been talking about that as well. We appreciate you bringing that up.
Mhm.
Donna says she's the token. Yeah, these are the things that can happen. And of course, it's an invasion right now with Biden leading the way. It's frustrating. It's just because national media will stop showing you what's happening at the border, we won't. That's why we credit and appreciate people like John Rourke, the Great American Cleanup, and others who are trying to do their best at the border with whatever they can, because this is a massive problem. Paul says Kamala didn't even get 2% in her own state during the primary, which shows you what the Democratic Party did. Of course, Tulsi Gabbard embarrassed her on stage. The deep left, the deep state, had Tulsi removed, and Kamala then selected after she ended her presidency campaign. Then she was, chosen to be the vice president.
Mhm.
It's going on and on and on. As Troy
Yes.
says, it's going to go beyond conversation eventually. Vic, it's going to get bloody on our own home front. There's no doubt in my mind.
There's no doubt.
I believe that
Troy's
as well.
absolutely right in this. It's going to get bloody.
We're going to have a civil war at some point.
Mhm.
I don't.
You're
want
going to
it.
have to defend yourself against all of these illegals, is what you're going to have to do.
Well, you may be doing that on your own home front at your own home
100%.
before too long, and
Yes.
on a much more open basis than what's
Mhm.
happening already.
Yes.
Yeah, Darren, great point. The media focused on Taylor Swift a lot recently. It keeps the masses distracted from the open border. Yeah, it does. And this is something that I've talked about, and I'll continue to talk about it. I love sports, and I love entertainment.
Mhm.
I'm human, but guess what? It does keep our attention elsewhere.
Yes, it does.
It makes us not be as concerned about the border. I love music. It's all part of it. These are all fun things
Yes.
for human beings to keep our mind off of what? Serious issues.
Mhm.
It's our breakaway from life. It's like the weekend, but it does keep our mind off the massive subject. It keeps
Correct.
people at bay. There's no way in hell any Americans could ever imagine a life without NFL football or music or Taylor Swift.
Right.
There's no way.
Mhm.
Movies, oh my God, entertainment, of course. Yeah, it could happen at some point in time. It could.
Mhm.
And once again, as Jay reminds us, those are all military-aged men, thousands of single military-aged men coming into this country
Yes.
illegally on purpose. Why? Why? Alexander says Taylor Swift pro Hamas ? I wonder why she's becoming so political. Seems like a no-win issue for her. I haven't heard her comments on Hamas. If she has made comments, then we would address them, but I don't want to associate something as horrible as Hamas to Taylor Swift without having the facts. If you know
Correct.
something, then show it to me. Or
Yeah,
tell me.
I would like to see that too. I definitely know that she's a lefty, and I definitely know that she promoted a whole bunch of people voting. But instead of bashing Taylor Swift on that, I would like to see a star do the same thing on the Republican side. Get a whole bunch of youth vote for Republicans.
Who?
Right?
There's no comparison to Taylor Swift.
That's
I
true.
mean, she put out the word and like 40,000 people immediately signed up to vote.
Well-
I figured it out. I know why we're getting all the illegal aliens.
Why? Why are we getting them?
They're coming over here to play women's sports.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So they're
I bet-
transgender as well.
Why wouldn't
Yeah,
be surprised?
they're LGBTQ. That they know where to go.
Ryan says, I
Yep.
stopped watching the NFL in 2016. I'm better for it. Can't understand why anyone still watches that America hating league. You know what, Ryan? I agree with you. And I still watch, so maybe I'm a hypocrite, but I love football. Football paid my way through college as a scholarship athlete at the University of Missouri. I love it. I hate what the NFL has become. I'm more of a college football fan, but the NFL is starting to get into college a little bit. But once again, they're entertainment. I mean, there's no problem. There's no problem with trying to have a little fun and enjoy your life here.
Mm-hmm.
The problem gets into the fact where when things start to mix in and you're not paying attention to what's happening in your country. And that bullshit is going on, and it pisses us off. Alexander said this, and I did not know this, Alex, and I hope that you're 100% right and you can show me proof. Alex said she attended pro-Palestine rally. When did she attend a pro-Palestine rally? That's what I want to know. And did she say anything at this pro-Palestine rally? Because I had not heard of it. And yes, Megan, you're right. Colin Kaepernick ruined it for some patriotic football fans.
I agree. And where Taylor Swift is concerned, there's such irony with her. So she I don't know if she went to a pro, Hamas rally or pro-Palestine rally. I don't know.
If she did, that's a problem.
That is a problem.
And we'll
I
break
don't
it down
know.
and explain it.
So if send me information, send Vic information. Is that the case? But I think she's an oxymoron, and I'm not calling her a moron. She's very intelligent with a great voice, but she loves the left. She's a bleeding heart liberal, and yet George Soros, and that little group, and she's even said the words, George Soros stole her whole catalog of music. So now she's having to start all over and re-record all of her music because big lefties, the biggest
don't screw
donor,
people's money.
Correct. So now she's really pissed about that. And I understand that, but I hope she comes out and sheds the light on the truth.
Well,
about
Sherry
that.
Adams is now saying prop Palestine flag ceremony in Fresno, California. Oh, that was something from that standpoint.
Yes,
Donna.
We know that's
she's
going
bigger
on.
than Oprah now.
She is bigger.
Now,
than
here's
Oprah.
what Alex says that Taylor Swift did. Once again, this is a gray area. It's a gray area. And I would love to call it out, but it's a gray freaking area, which pisses me off because it's not black or white. Allegedly, Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez attended what was called a Gaza fundraiser. What it was they went to a comedy show. So they went to a comedy show, and then portions or proceeds from the event went towards helping humanitarian relief in Gaza. I can't.
That is
call
a gray area. That is gray.
Alex, I can't do that, man. I'm sorry. You may be looking for the big nugget. No, there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Right. I mean, if I probably wouldn't go, if I know I wouldn't go, if I
And
went
who's to know? And who's to say that she knew where the proceeds were going?
That's right. She may not have known. If you go to something, you may not even know where the proceeds are. Look at how many things I know I've gone to, and then I find out after the fact, oh crap, I didn't know they gave money to that. But it's like,
with a whole lot of things.
yes,
Especially with investments. If anybody's doing mutual funds, if anybody's investing money, you better know who you're associated with, because your cash is going to places that I promise you, unless you've actually looked, you're going to find a company where your money is going to support with something that is not in your ideology.
Correct.
I promise you that.
100%. 100%. We couldn't really go anywhere. I mean, almost everywhere we go is the money that I would put towards something is not what these big corporations put money to, but it's gotten to the point it's hard. You want to go to small businesses, and I highly promote them. And if there's a choice, I will, but sometimes there's not a choice.
Well, David jumped in. David Sparks says, attended a comedy event. Afterwards, the comedian sent the proceeds. Yeah, those kinds of things happen. That's why I can't. Taylor Swift knows better than to get involved in this.
I would think so.
She is.
And I hear she's very kind.
Yeah, she is. And I know people in Kansas City that have run into her when she has been in, and the same kind of things are being talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and like David again is saying, drink a Coke, then you drink a Coke and you help the terrorists. That's the concept. You'd have to boycott almost everything, literally almost everything.
No, I agree. And that's the problem. It's like you really have to look and pick your battles on where your money's going and what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Paul says, unfortunately, nobody really knows if that money is actually going to help Gaza relief.
We don't.
That's why I don't add up anymore on my bill if I'm somewhere. That's why, hey, would you like to add up, or would you like to round up to the next dollar? And that
don't
money?
Do that anymore.
No, I'm sorry. I no, not unless I see where it's actually going. Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no, hell no, hell no. Jay says, like Nike, I refuse to buy or own anything with Nike. Nike has gotten really involved with China. And if you, and I know kids don't understand it.
They don't. And
they want their Air Jordans,
Yeah.
and they want every kind of basketball cool shoe they can get. But people don't care. At the end of the day, people are going to choose money, they're going to choose comfort, and they're going to choose style and what they want. They're not going to go get a off-brand thing They're just not. Those kind of people are less.
Yes.
They're just less. They're not going. They're going to have less in number.
You're just safe with Chuck Taylor's people.
Yeah.
With Chuck, there
What
you
happened
go.
to Chuck Taylor?
What happened to good old Chuck? Well, like Nike.
They on my feet.
Sometimes if you're a parent, you don't have a choice. I know my daughter's in volleyball, both with school and select. Most of the things are made by Nike, and she has to have them or she cannot play. So I am like, I believe Jay said that. I don't purposely go out and buy Nike anymore, but I do buy the things that she has to have for a sporting event or she can't play.
Yeah, Danny says, don't forget Walmart. Jeannie says, don't underestimate Taylor Swift. She's very, very smart. Don't underestimate.
She is.
Yeah, I know. And I've heard some of the lyrics of her song too. And
yeah.
And I'm sorry, some of this stuff is very dark.
It is very dark.
If you're on the side that says that she is associated with some sort of dark Illuminati or some sort of evil thing where she has sold her soul, guess what? I'm not going to tell you you're crazy. And for people who want to say that she is the kindest, most thoughtful, sincere person, I'm not going to go against you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because we have seen it all. There's a lot of stuff that's going on right there right now.
Correct.
That's for sure.
And we don't know for sure. We do know that how she votes because she tells us, but the rest of it we don't know.
Yeah, she's hardcore liberal. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess there's a lot worse that your kids, because I've got 3 of my 5 kids really like her. And I put my 2 cents in, but then I stopped because some of the other choices they have is way worse than her. So there's a lot of choices that our kids have to listen to, and most of them really are not really good. A lot of them aren't good people.
Alex sent me another update. He said, and this is the kind of thing though, Alex, this is why you can't say that Taylor Swift is pro-Hamas, because people who are pro-Hamas or will look for issues or look for ideas or signs that, oh, they're on our side, that she's on my side. Because he sent me some sort of message where one fan said, never doubted you. Thank you for attending Rami Youssef's show held to raise funds for Gaza.
I wouldn't be surprised, to Alex's point, I wouldn't be surprised because she is hardcore left and she might be one of those people that's intelligent, but she doesn't understand.
I'm not coming after her for that.
Yeah, she doesn't understand. Yeah.
As long as that comedy show did not consist of any anti if it was, if there was any anti-Semitism going on.
Yeah. Chris is saying we need to do a free-for-all Friday on Swift looking just like the old wife of the creator of the Church of
I
Satan.
saw the stuff. We all see the same stuff that gets. I thought
that's a rabbit hole.
We showed it on this show.
We did.
Showed
showed
Taylor's picture next to the Church of Satan. Yes, they look like they could be sisters. I'll give you that much, but I'm not going down that rabbit hole of her selling her soul, being reincarnated, and that's why she is now the most popular person in the world.
Yeah.
She's arguably the most popular person in the world.
100%. 100%. You either...
And Travis Kelce's smart for recognizing that and going and trying to find that.
She's the next Oprah.
I think she's bigger than Oprah now, isn't she?
Oh, I don't think bigger.
You don't think so?
No.
Yes. She's bigger than Oprah.
Oprah's been in the game for way too long.
No, but Oprah's out of the game.
Yeah.
Now, but I mean...
Oprah's been really out of the game for about 20 years, 15 years.
Yeah, but she was in the game for over 20 years, right?
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying Taylor Swift is way more popular than Oprah now. Not even close.
Maybe in popularity, but I still think the
because the younger people don't know Oprah, but the older people know Taylor, and everybody in between knows Taylor.
I still think Oprah's net worth is still larger.
It could be.
I don't know. We could look that up.
Yeah, that's a good thing to look up.
But net worth was not what we were talking about. We were talking about popularity. And the popularity of Taylor Swift is unmatched by anybody. Taylor Swift became a billionaire a few weeks ago. And think of her age and how quickly she became a billionaire compared to Oprah and when Oprah got her wealth. Taylor,
that's why I say she's the next Oprah.
Yeah, well... Yeah.
And she's got that. I think it's Amy's saying
she's way
she's
bigger.
got that OWN network now too. I've never watched it.
Yeah, it's been a disaster.
Yeah.
The OWN network has been a disaster. Taylor's 31, I believe. That's it. And a billionaire. Self-made billionaire, not for money that was coming in, which is insane.
Well, and a lot of her money has been taken away. That's why she has to re-record. That's my biggest thing. If Taylor was my daughter, I would say to her, okay, honey, I know you're really upset about the Republicans. But do you know who took all your record labels away and now you have to record? It's left-wing whole world order people. I just wish her
George
parents.
Soros.
Yeah, George Soros. She said it. Taylor with her own mouth said it.
I'm just glad that Taylor doesn't like Kim Kardashian because Kim was mean to her on stage.
Yeah.
And she hasn't forgotten, which
Yeah.
is very, very interesting. Travis Kelce was intelligent. His career will be winding down soon,
Yes.
and he is with Taylor. They're
With
talking about
Taylor.
getting married.
Yeah.
I mean, there's rumors that are coming out already too about that.
Even my 80-something-year-old mom even said, do you think that that's real or it's not real? What do you think?
Joe, would you get a cupcake to go marry Taylor Swift? That's what Travis did. He went and got his cupcake. He started promoting it so he could get with Taylor.
I
He
think.
sold his soul, is what he
He
did.
sold his
Yeah.
soul to the
Yeah.
entertainer.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, and I do think there are a lot of men that would take a cupcake or anything else to be
Hell
with Taylor
yes,
Swift.
they would.
Because I mean, look at all the money and the fame. Even if she doesn't give him any money, it already
I wouldn't.
elevates your worth.
I
But
would.
you could be dead too of a heart
I
attack in a
wouldn't.
year.
I wouldn't do it.
Nope.
Sorry, that's not my
Wouldn't do it.
lifestyle.
Yeah. No.
Wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it for any guy.
Hell, we
either.
couldn't even get you come out to Winty's for the holiday party, much less you signing up to go on dates with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, well,
You'd have to wear that damn hoodie that you got on right now.
man, it's
We can't
cold
even-
up in here.
We
Man.
can't even get you to get your damn camera turned on to put you onto our show.
Somebody said Megan saying Travis is the first masculine man that she has ever been with.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they all
Well,
have
you've
been,
seen
they've
the
all
picture.
been weenies.
Well,
Yeah.
you've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kelsey is the center, so
Yeah.
it's for Philadelphia. Kelsey is on the back of the jersey.
Uh-huh.
The quarterback's name is Hertz.
Mm-hmm.
So Kelsey, Hertz, the running back's name, Swift.
Mm-hmm.
So in the pictures, when the video camera shows them from behind, it says Kelsey Hertz Swift. Kelsey Hertz Swift. You said he's the first masculine man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey
Mhm.
Hertz Swift.
Uh-huh.
Kelsey Hertz Swift. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear it. I
Okay,
hear
Kelsey Hertz Swift. All right. I didn't know if Joe was getting it.
Oh, I totally get
it.
it.
It took me a second to get it because Alex, who does some of our marketing, says he is the biggest anti-jab person. And he would take it. I lost all credibility for you, Alex.
Well, he runs a business like I do, and you got to pay bills.
Would you take a jab?
Desperate times call for desperate
I
measures.
guess. Oh, Lord have mercy.
No, I
So
wouldn't.
you'd get the mark of the beast.
No, I
I'm
wouldn't.
not getting it. No.
Glad you said that.
The only person that I would leave my husband forever, and
Oh,
he
whoa,
knew
whoa, whoa.
that,
Record. Get ready to record.
was Denzel Washington. So my husband has
Oh.
always known I would never leave him for anyone except for if Denzel came in, I might go, I don't know. And the reason why really that's just a joke. It's because he's still married to the same person. He's a nice Christian guy. He bucks Hollywood and he's worth a lot of money. And I wouldn't even take the jab for Denzel.
Interesting.
I would not take the jab for Denzel.
I used to maybe would have considered it for Kate Beckinsale
yeah.
until she dated Goofball Boy.
Who's Goofball Boy?
Who was he does the Taco Bell commercials, the comedian, former Saturday Night Live guy, dated Kim Kardashian.
So wait a minute. No, what girl do you
Guys,
like?
help me out.
Oh, face tattoos.
No,
not that dude.
No. He's very popular, and you guys are going to be like,
Okay, but who's the girl again?
Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yes.
Yeah, Pete Davidson.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
face tattoos. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about somebody else.
No.
Pete Davidson. Yes. When I heard that she was dating or messing around, I was like, oh. Then I lost it for my precious Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah. So would you?
I might have, for Kate, I would have considered it, but
considered the jab.
yeah,
Wow.
but not after Pete's been there.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, dated her.
Well, he might have been there. So I don't know. And then you don't know. You could get syphilis after that.
Lizzie.
Just say it.
Oh my God.
You went there.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There you go.
That might be a good place to end the show today.
Yes. So everybody, don't take a jab and don't sleep with whoever's been with whatever her name
Nancy
is. 'cause
says Alan Jackson getting a vote today.
Alan Jackson. Oh, okay.
Glenn
so
says
Nancy would,
his hall pass was Faith Hill.
yeah. So put it on the chat line. But somebody said Jelly Roll.
Oh my God, stop it.
Somebody said Faith Hill.
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar, hers is like, so just,
drive.
yeah, I love Nancy's Alan Jackson. That's funny.
Oh my God, that's funny. Good
Maybe
stuff there.
Kathy Ireland back in the day.
Okay,
I
so
don't
you
know.
said Kathy Ireland. Okay.
Yeah, she's in her 60s now.
I would like to know, Amy's laughing, but Amy, I would like to know who yours is. Come on, Amy, before we end the show, I want to put a name down. Put a name down.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Amy.
All right. Guys, we love you. Thanks for joining us today for the December 12th Cancel This Show, cancelthisshow.com. We love when you support us. Thank you for any donations at cancelthisshow.com. It helps us, especially during the holiday season. If you have story ideas or interviews, let us know. We have a big show again coming up tomorrow. And of course, you can check out our website, cancelthisshow.com. We have our merchandise page up, hats, shirts, Coolies, cups, Stanleys, Cancel This Coffee, all of those things. Oh my God.
Oh, I love these names.
Yeah.
The chat line is going crazy with theirs. We've got Matthew McConaughey,
All right,
James
all right,
Gardner,
all right.
Elvis, Chatham Tanning, Sammy Hagar.
Selma Hayek.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, these are good, guys. These are good.
Yeah.
These are good.
Okay.
Mhm.
Guys, have an awesome show. Thanks again for joining us today and all of your interaction. We do it Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, cancelthisshow.com. So for Pro Joe, without his camera turned on again today,
Wilson.
Maybe
He's
one
Wilson.
day.
Maybe one day.
Chase in studio, he hopped in. Lizzie Sparks, I'm Vic Faust. Have an awesome day. We'll talk to you guys later.